everybody, and welcome once again to Stars Without Number with the Salty Dragon Tavern. Yeah, this is the crew of the Gloved Molotov. We're going to be jumping back in, playing through that adventure. Before we start, though, I will mention we have a snazzy as you like bingo grid that can be dispensed to hither and yon if you wish to take part. Essentially, it's just a bingo board full of all the really dumb stuff that we are moderately likely to do during the course of a game. So if you want, play along. It'll be fun. Yeah. For now, though, let's just start playing, because I'm keen as anything. So, when last we left the crew of the Gloved Molotov, they had just emerged from the archaeological exploits on the planet Igelea. They'd managed to mentally manipulate some of the scientists that paid them to go on this job, and in doing so realized that they had in fact been paid and were spies within Altus University, sent from the Pavlakakis organization on planet Astronome, which is the only other tech level 4+ planet in the system, and is kind of a rival to Altus. Though they were confident that they had been handled by their minds being wiped of any and all knowledge about the found aliens, so they sent them on their way with their bug, the dead bug, for further dissection. Then Catalina, who had been in dire straits previously after having had her face almost melt off by extreme heat and then being placed in a psychic bug cradle to repair herself, certain quality of life improvements had been bestowed upon her by this species, and she came out with a skin of metal but was blind as a result of the initial injury. She and Dr. Charles retreated to the Gloved Molotov, where he investigated possible solutions to help her. And when the very bored Catalina became too much for him, she was taken back to her room along with the hired help on the ship, Lucia, and the two of them had some special time together, which was slightly noisier than one might expect, but you know, that's how it goes.
It was loud and obnoxious.
And Dr. Charles heard a decent amount of it.
Much to his displeasure.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew made their way out into the city proper, and while Lockie and Darius investigated a robot fighting tournament that was set to occur in the midst of the tavern, the Spiky Bouquet, which is a brightly pastel-colored, floral-smelling bar that serves a lot of like fancy cocktails. PIMM and brother Dimitri made their way off to a mechanical shop called Nuts and Bolts, where they sourced some components, and Dimitri picked up a set of new cyberware eyes for Catalina, which she later had installed, but not before Dr. Charles went and paid a visit to the local psychic school to investigate the possibility of him enhancing his own psychic powers to regrow Catalina's eyes as opposed to having them replaced. But when she was presented with these options, she chose the former, and we last left off with her awaking from surgery and being able to see from the first time. Of course, while she was being operated on, the party found and did battle with one of the potential competitors in this bot fighting tournament. Efficiently did away with his robot with some slightly underhanded tactics, including hacking and telekinesis. And after their opponent threw up on the inside of his visor from the induced motion sickness, he surrendered, and you got his entry ticket. and that is where we last left off. So everybody except Catalina is still standing at. Actually, you know what? I think we can jump ahead to the next day probably. So ignore that. So the crew, save for Catalina, are on the ship, the Gloved Molotov. Oh yes, good reminder. Just before the fight took place, I mentioned that she had sex. Pay attention. What do you think special time means? It's me. For
She
that,
made love to pretty lady.
Indeed, she did.
It was
So.
not sex. Sex is what men do.
So now, the crew of the Gloved Molotov, save for Catalina, are now back on the ship. It is the morning after, and you guys have some preparations to make for this robot fight, and for other things as well.
Real quick, before going to bed that night, I would have sent a communique to my parents about the scientists and their connections.
Okay, fair enough. I will turn to my comms page in my book, and I will write down the gist of your message.
On that note, Rory,
Yes.
one, we haven't had a news update in a little while, so I wasn't sure if it was timely yet.
It's not time yet.
Yeah, I think it's only been a few days, hasn't it, since we've been on this planet? Alright. So in that case, there's no feasible way that I would get any communication back from home, theoretically.
No, it'll still take some time for it to go back and forth.
Oh, good.
So,
I was just trying to get a sense of time, that's all.
Oh, good. So, Dr. Charles, what's the gist of your message that you sent to your parents?
Just basically saying that we completed the job for that we were hired by the archaeology arm of the university, but the scientists involved in that have connections to I can't remember what the other planet's called already. Astronome. That they're probably spies or something. So be wary.
Sure thing. That will take some time to get back to them, but yeah, it's on its way. Also, Dr. Charles, I should say, as you're kind of turning in and going to bed that night, you do kind of feel a bit unusual. You had been feeling like pretty on top of the world up until this point after your weird psychic interaction, but you're beginning to feel a bit deflated, a bit kind of like tired and sore and grumpy. It could just be because it's the end of the day, but it's a thing that you notice as you turn in. Okay.
Yeah.
So the morning comes around, and Dr. Charles, you're feeling a lot worse.
I check myself with the phone.
You wake up with like a splitting headache. You feel very annoyed and irritable, and
That's normal.
Great. If you,
it's normal for him to feel irritable and annoyed.
If you give yourself a once over with your bioscanner, just make me like a basic roll, post tech with intelligence. See quite what you can pass from your scanning yourself.
Wouldn't it be tech medical?
Oh yeah, good point. Tech medical, my bad.
Okay, cool. Because I was going to say my post tech is shit. Okay. I have no idea what I rolled.
You rolled a 5.
I rolled shit.
But it's an easy roll. I'm prepared to give it to you. While you don't know the specifics of what is causing this, it doesn't take much for you to realize that what you are currently experiencing is withdrawal symptoms.
This is the damn air I breathe, isn't it?
You're not sure.
I'll probably spend a bit more time trying to figure out what my body's having problems with.
Sure thing. So you kind of go almost immediately from your quarters to the medical bay. Check up on Tazi to make sure she's okay, and then get to work, seeing what's up with you.
Yep.
In the meantime, Catalina, you are being discharged. You are not completely recovered yet, but you are well enough to return to the company of friends without having to stay, unless there was something else you were hoping to achieve with the doctor.
Indeed, there was.
Oh yeah, there was, wasn't there?
There was.
So, as it's like as somebody comes in, brand new day, you feel like still profoundly knackered, but are like scraping by with the iron drip that you're receiving.
Is the doctor there now?
Yes, he comes in and just begins saying, "So we've managed to perform the operation. It seems as though you are conscious, but still a touch lethargic."
Is something of a side effect of long story, but I am permanently in need of iron, and I do not have much energy without it. It's very, very words, sorry. It's inconvenient, but I need many times a day, and my skin, you would have noticed, is thick.
Durable, yes.
So I was meaning to ask, you maybe have solution?
Well, I would have to know exactly how much iron you need in a day to know how sizable of a solution it would require.
Do I know that?
No, I don't think you do. So,
This would be conversation to have with Dr. Charles. I have no idea. I just know I am always tired. I am always hungry for red meat and mushrooms. And cranky and tired. Did I say tired?
You did. Have you got any contact information for this gentleman? Perhaps I can speak to him in person.
Where is my compad? Where is? Oh, my head hurts.
It's on the nightstand. It's within arm's reach.
Okay. I'll grab it, and it's probably the first time I've looked at my comms pad. I'm like, oh, this is a bit weird. And I'll find and I'll send it off to him.
Yeah. So, Dr. Charles, as you're sitting in the medical bay, beginning your initial inspection, your compad rings, and it's loud. Louder than you recall setting it.
I probably wince at it and then basically just decline the call straight away.
It's like, oh, no. Okay. He says, "Oh, he appears to have hung up." To Catalina.
Okay.
Maybe I can perform some tests myself.
That's fine, but maybe give him a call later. I don't know. He's the one that did this to me, so you know.
Oh. I won't ask.
That's not true. He is reason this happened to me. That's better. Sorry. My English is only so good.
So he begins a cursory once over, and not cursory, like an in-depth once over, which includes some pretty thorough scans. But after a few hours of investigating, he has not like a perfect idea of how much you need, but kind of a window, because if he were to give you too much by a lot, that would probably be bad, very, very bad. So,
but also, it's probably good to accommodate for the fact that I'll probably end up eating foods that'll have iron in it and things like that.
Yeah. So yeah, he is able to figure out the quantity per day you need, and is then able to suggest kind of a medical implant that would be able to suffice. It has both like manual and automatic controls, so you can basically place within it vials of a supplement and like use a connection to a compad to like adjust your daily dosage depending on how you feel today. It would be similar to like what people who have their thyroids removed feel, where they need to like fine tune exactly where they want the dosage to sit to be able to function as optimally as they can. And he should be able to provide that for you.
Oh, that is good. How much do I owe you for this?
This is a relatively simple procedure. For the cost of the installation and a few months worth of dosage, I would say about 1,000 credits should be sufficient.
That's fine. When this is over, I will.
Okay. He says that this is like a simple outpatient procedure, and after another few hours of going in, being knocked out, surgery, you're once again in recovery, still feeling groggy from the effects, but your arm is all bandaged up, and you are on a much heavier and faster draining drip of iron, and already you are feeling a lot more like yourself. Now, that took like the better part of a day. So, the rest of the crew, what's everybody up to during this time?
I feel like at this point there's not much Lockie can really do in terms of prep for PIMM's robot battle. He's not mechanically minded. All he would be like is, you need bigger guns or you need bigger weapons. So I feel like he'd just be playing some basketball.
Perhaps you can help me set up the primary gun. The whole torso of this bot is a gun.
I mean, I can help, but I feel like it's something more up Catalina's field.
You have taken apart a gun several times and put it back together. I feel that your input will be beneficial. And Catalina can help as well. There is no reason she cannot.
Fair enough.
So you are able to lend PIMM some aid in this. And I feel as though since you have an idea about this, that probably like a good portion of the first day is basically spent with you using like software to map out exactly what you're trying to build. Mm-hmm. So it's more just like conversations about like economies of scale and practicality and the cost of resources and like maximizing effectiveness while you're like messing around with these big 3D wireframes of components going, yes, maybe this here, and for that as well, Lockie would be able to lend assistance if for nothing else but his like practical hands-on experience with guns and saying things like, no, that's not a large enough heat sink. This thing's going to overheat or stuff like that.
Let's be honest, he's just going, no, that's not a large enough gun.
Yeah.
No. So, bigger.
So if for just today, it's just the two of you who are making inroads in this, can you both please make me post-tech rolls with intelligence? See.
Hey, Rory. Hey, Rory.
Yeah. Ooh, not bad.
Way ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I actually got a decent roll.
Yeah. I wanted a 6.
It's still a fail, but it's a decent roll.
So while you are like a decent soundboard just for PIMM to bounce ideas off, you aren't able to provide quite as much practical help as he might have liked.
Yeah,
but PIMM,
it's more of him coming up with the ideas, relaying it back to me, and then going, no, that's not a good idea. I should do this instead. And me just going,
yeah,
sure.
So a conversation does occur, and you spend like a good portion of the day just brainstorming this and hashing out ideas. We also have a Darius and a Dimitri. What are you up to?
Play basketball, perhaps?
On that note, I'd probably, after feeling the effects for like an hour or two, I'd go to Dimitri and bioscan him. Like literally just walk up behind him and like stick the bioscanner to his neck just to see if he's getting anything similar to what I'm getting.
Fair enough. Dimitri, are you going to object at all to being...
I'm glad that you are sticking it into my neck and not somewhere else.
Just... I need data.
Are you okay, Charles? Is there something wrong?
I'm fine. Just...
Sure.
Once it completes the scan, I literally just turn around and walk back out the room.
Okay. You burst in rudely and burst out just as rudely. After you return to the medical bay and you give it a once over, it looks as though he has the same metal present in his lungs and now in his veins as you do, but doesn't appear to be experiencing any of the other symptoms that you were feeling.
It is the vodka I drink. It protects. It pickles my insides and protects me from stuff.
I'm sure that's how it works.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Darius, in this time, what are you going to be spending your time doing?
I'd probably just be wandering between various areas, between programming things, preparing for a bot hype fight, wandering the streets randomly, or trying to help with the construction of the bot. And by help, I mean just randomly walking into the room, passing them a piece of metal and saying, stick this in it, and then walking out again.
Fair enough. I'd say about halfway through the day, if you just kind of like bouncing from project to project, not really settling anywhere, you would receive a message. It's not one that was directed at you. It was it was addressed to the ship, but was directed at you in like the CC thing. So it's a message for you, but from somebody who didn't have your personal comms information, but did have that of the ship's.
Wait, who got it?
It was for Darius.
Huh.
All right. Sorry, I'm back. I received a message. Sorry.
Yeah. You received a message that was for you, but wasn't sent directly to you. It was sent to the ship, but is for you.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. What do we got?
As you give it a look over, this is a message from your father.
I'm going to glance at it quickly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't actually recall if we gave your dad a name. I'm going to give it a look.
I can't remember it if we did, so just make it up.
Bob. It is not Bob.
Roll it.
Yeah, we actually didn't give your dad a name, so we're going to roll for it.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
That's one check-if off the bingo.
Mm-hmm. And since you are from a planet which is Arabic, I have the handy Arabic name table.
So his name is Muhammad.
I'm just rolling his first name because he's also Shivani.
Abdul?
27. Oh, you can call him Ismail.
Ismail.
What's that? Ahmed.
Ahmed with
extra.
Yep, so Ismail Shivani has sent a message to you. Okay, and it's actually an audio message.
Yeah, I'll play it.
Okay, it starts out kind of quiet and a bit crackly, it sounds like the background noise from your childhood home, and after about 10 awkward seconds, it's just, hey, Darius, it's me, it's your dad. I know you may not be the most thrilled to hear from me, but I saw you on the news. You were in Alftis, spoke to some lady about some rescued people from this random planet. Thought it was a sign, might reach out, see how you're doing. Call me back, or don't, whatever, it's up to you. Bye, and then he just hangs up.
That sounds like talking to my dad.
Yeah. Not the best relationship, apparently.
It's like you say goodbye and then 10 seconds of awkward silence and then he hangs up.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that is the message you received, Darius.
I'm just going to text back, send a message out on through the standard comms system, so I don't really care if it takes 5 weeks to get there and go. And the message will be very short and quite blunt, and it'll be, what do you want?
Oh, God. What do you want? Oof. Okay, that gets sent out. You are a bit closer to Yakuta than you have been previously, so it's not going to take as long as you think. I'll just.
Oh, okay.
I'll just drag it over.
You're right. It is relatively close. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are on Igelia. Yakuta's down here, and it's on a traffic lane. So it's assuming a decently fast ship carries the message. It might take a month to get there, and then have a reply be sent.
Okay.
Yeah. Oof. What do you want, Dad? I'm busy. Okay.
Oh, no, actually, there's one other line. How's your leg? Hope it hurts.
Wow. The hate. The hate.
I love it.
Is it hate or is it just more like indifference? Which is...
It's pretty disliked.
The first half was indifference. The second half was hate. Yeah, you did go on the news in Alftis and record an interview with someone, and eventually it trickled down to Yakuta. So you saw it, reached out.
Surprising.
Dear Dad, dearest Daddy, surprised to see that your head is still attached to your neck.
I'd rather it not be. Go away.
Considering this is the first time he's answering any call that he's ever received from him, it's like the nicest he's ever been since he's left Yakuta. So,
fair enough. Right. The day continues to go by. Dr. Charles, can you make me another tech medical roll, please? See what your investigations can uncover.
I can try.
That's a bit better. You give your body a very thorough once-over. And after spending a good few hours investigating this, you realize that there is no chemical reason why this should be happening to you. Everything that you are feeling is as a result of some kind of mental or psychological influence. So your mind experienced something that it liked, but it isn't there anymore. So your body is reacting to your mind being unhappy.
I know what this is now. It was that fucking bitch in a stupid hippie fucking...
And as the day's gone on, you haven't really felt any better. So you've just been angrily troubleshooting your body for most of the day.
At this point, I'm gonna like get really angry. I'm gonna slam my hand down on the table, and not realizing have my telekinetic force also lash out, and I'm gonna put a huge dent in the table.
Oof. So whoever is nearby, I think the person who would be most nearby is Lucia. So you make this big swing and dent, and this big echoing sound of metal being distorted, and you hear like the stomping of heavy boots, and she just pokes her head around the corner and says, "What was that?"
Don't worry, I think he just needs to get laid.
Look down at the table and be like, "That was unexpected. I need to go for a walk," and I just get up, and just leave the ship.
I heard a bang through the comms. Is everything okay?
It's fine.
Judging by the tone and duration of your voice, I think that is untrue.
I turn off my comms.
Oh, storms off into the city proper.
Well, fine.
And as you leave, Lucy just calls out, "You want me watch Tazzy?
Please."
Okay."
Even when Grumpy's still polite. Can I ask a question?
Certainly.
I forgot I have like max system strain. I lose 1 strain per day, correct?
Per day of not being taxed, yes. So it's been about 1 full day now, so it'll go down by 1. However, you now have implanted in you cyberware, which means that the maximum system strain that your body can take is reduced by 1.
Yep, so I have 1 permanent system strain.
Yes, 1 permanent point of system strain as a result of the cyberware.
Yeah.
And as the day comes, kind of draws to more of a close, Catalina, you are again approached, and they're like, "Well, you are still hurt, but we think we can discharge you."
He's okay. Have doctor on ship. He'll just send him the notes. It'll be fine. Oh, right. Also, send him the money. It was 1,000, yeah?
1,000, yes. She says, he says, is there someone perhaps less busy I can contact on your ship to come and collect you? You may still need some support to move around.
That's a good question. I don't know. Just send a message to ship. They will send someone.
Okay. Dr. Charles.
The moment it hits the ship, it gets pinged back, going, "Is everything all right?"
Well, before that, Dr. Charles, you would receive the files from Catalina, but your tender comes off, so no dice there. But yes, PIMM is the first to intercept the message.
Opening up live feed connection. Calling.
Okay, so you call the doctor who sent you this message, and he's like, "Oh,
yeah, that's it there. That is it there, guys." I am nothing if not just in character. All right.
And so he answers and goes, "Oh my!" Walks over to a nearby wall-mounted screen and just like taps his compad on it, and then all of a sudden, the feed from PIMM is just projected on the big screen, and PIMM, you can see a feed into Catalina's room. She's got this big, chunky cyberware around her eyes.
That looks very uncomfortable. Is there a reason for the message that was sent to me?
Yes. I was hoping to be able to discharge our patient into your care. As you're a crew, with its own onboard doctor, her care could be put into his hands. But I tried to call him previously. He seemed preoccupied. Perhaps someone else from your ship can come and collect her and see her safely to
Acknowledged. I will come and get her immediately.
All right, then. I will send you the address.
Thank you very much. And indeed.
Did I hear that?
Okay. Yes.
Ah, okay. I wasn't sure if it was like a or a. Okay.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, he did put it up onto a screen. So if you did want to speak, you could have.
Oh well, it doesn't.
Now comes the funniness of the core ejecting from the supercomputer into that weird bot that goes around on a rail, shoots down into the storage bay, comes through into the workshop, then ejects the core into the Echo, which then turns on. He then gets dressed in a fine-looking suit purchased by his dada and heads to the medical room to collect Catalina.
Mm-hmm. It's very... what's the name? Like Rube Goldberg machine, where it's all those different things that kind of topple into each other to make it happen.
No, not quite. A Rube Goldberg machine is just a excessively ornate thing that doesn't really do anything. Like it's a room-sized machine that opens a tin can.
But it's got that kind of like fast-moving camera and energy and things like that. So yeah, PIMM, you jump into your Echo and can make your way out into the town. I believe, though, that Dr. Charles is going to arrive at his intended destination first, which I assume is...
I need to go and quickly do something for 2 minutes anyway.
Cool. So, Dr. Charles, I assume you're storming out of the ship to make your way back to the Psychic Academy.
Yep.
Okay. You reapproach, and while this cavernous space doesn't have its own sun, it does have internal lights that do wax and wane with the approximate solar cycles to kind of give people more of a circadian rhythm and to help them be more normal. So as you approach, the overhead lights in this cavern have dimmed, and it kind of gives this place... It looked gaudy during the day. It looks foreboding during the night. Just the sheer scale and the big looming mantis statues and just the grandiosity of it is a bit more intimidating this time of night.
Basically, I'm so angry I don't care. I'm just going to walk up to the door.
Mm-hmm. You approach aggressively. There is a person on guard keeping watch. He says, yes, hello, can I help you?
Probably, but I want to talk to the bitch in charge of this place again.
All right. Are you happy to wait right here? I will send her a message.
I will wait here.
Okay. He pulls out a compad, takes a few steps away, sees how angry you are, takes a few more steps away. Then he calls her up. You hear like half of a conversation that's basically, he's wearing a suit. He looks really fancy, kind of mad. I think I saw him in here yesterday. Yeah, you specifically. You sure? Okay. He hangs up and says, she was about to leave for the day, but has made some time for you if you would like to go inside.
At that point, I'll literally go, fine, walk in. And as I'm walking in, I'm going to put my compad and broadcast it back to the ship.
Okay.
Just in case she wants to try anything stupid.
As soon as you turn it back on, you get a ping from the surgeon who performed surgery on Catalina and received his full notes, including the cyborg eyes and the IV feed implant that's been placed in Catalina's right arm.
I just sort of give it a quick glance and I'm like, I'll read that later.
Mm-hmm. You storm on in. This place, it still has small amounts of activity as you make your way through the various hallways. It's just people quietly milling about. But as you walk in, you see that she has just once again taken a seat in the center of that large palatial room with the big vaulted ceilings and all the cushions and carpets that surrounded her for meditation. And she sees you and says, "Is something the matter, my child?"
You know exactly what the matter is. You know why I'm here.
I do?
Whatever the fuck you did to me yesterday.
Say, yes, you made that psychic connection with that with one of our pupils. Did something go awry?
Well, since last night after leaving, I've been suffering the symptoms of withdrawal.
See. I believe I may be aware of what's occurred. It seems one of our students may have been taking regalia.
And what the hell is that?
It's a, for lack of a better term, it's a performance enhancer. If a psychic were to take it, it would temporarily enhance their gifts and make them stronger in a certain field for about an hour. It can also be applied to non-psychics, and they just experience a tremendous high. And that you recall meeting that commander on Thymoids who had those like fine needle marks. She wasn't a psychic, but was taking something that you suspect was regalia just because it was like a recreational drug that she was enjoying. And while, so she goes on and says, "So you may not have taken it, but that other man did. And because its effects were upon his mind as much as his body, when you linked with him, you felt some of that. And now that it's retreating, you're feeling some of the withdrawal symptoms."
Right. How often do your people take this?
But it's not discouraged either.
Right. Well, you should probably not have them be taking it when they're mind linking with a person not of this planet.
I was unaware at the time. He seemed a bit nervous.
Well, this is not how I wanted to feel today.
It's possible that we can assist, perhaps?
I'd rather just try and get rid of it myself.
Well, if you change your mind, we could provide you a sample to administer a low dose over a long period of time to kind of wean you off the effects.
I was going to ask you if you have any more that I can take to help figure out how to get rid of it myself.
That shouldn't be a problem. I'll have to, and she reaches into her big baggy robes, pulls out a compad, presses some buttons, and after a few minutes of you waiting impatiently and her kind of like awkwardly not making eye contact with you, like a person comes out from the wings and presents to her this this chunky wrist cuff that looks almost like party wear. It's got like built-in LED strips and like reflective metal like panels on the side that might diffract the LEDs. And as she presents it to you and you handle it, you can see that on the inside of this thing, it has kind of like an adherence effect where it would hug you and sit in exactly the same place on your body once you put it on. And then once it was secure, it would inject in all of these needles. Those needles would take out some of your blood and then mix an amount of the drug into your blood and then slowly reintroduce it into your body. So if you were to be using this kind of thing, you would be able to control how hard of a hit you take by adjusting the pace. If you want like a massive hit right away, you could just dump the entire dose into your veins at once. But some people may want to slow roll it. Yeah. So you are handed this thing. You can guess by the way it's marked out that it contains 2 full doses.
Do you have any spare other? I will purchase it. I don't care. I just want enough to test on, rather than just getting rid of it out of my system as well.
Well, 1 dose over a length of time should be enough to wean you off it should you wish, and 1 more dose should be sufficient to test, I suspect.
Well then, I will take my leave because I need to rest. I have had a splitting headache all day. But next time, be more aware of what your people are doing before you have them mind linking with others.
I will do so. I recommend pickles.
Pickles.
For the headache.
Right. I will see how it goes.
Okay.
And I'll take the bracelet and, leave before I get angry.
And you make your way out. Okay, PIMM. You arrive at Catalina's bedside. She looks kick-ass.
Hello, Catalina. How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I mean, I have a bit of a headache. And I have a prick in my arm, but you know.
It is okay. I will get some painkillers for when we return to the ship.
That's probably a good idea.
Now, would you please take my arm so I may help you stand?
I'm sure it'd be fine. Maybe.
You go to stand up. Please make me a physical effect save.
I figure I get like massive vertigo.
We shall see.
Massive vertigo.
You get massive vertigo.
Okay, I'm gonna catch because I was there the whole time.
Yeah. You PIMM. You know she talks a big talk, and when she goes to stand up, kind of like far too confidently, it's kind of like, okay, whoop, here I go. And you just go on the way down.
Her legs just buckle under her, and she's just like, okay, maybe you need help.
Perhaps I should put you into a wheelchair. I can purchase one now.
You can request the use of a wheelchair that they'll just allow you to use as long as you return it.
Wheelchair, please.
Yes, of course. Just be sure to return it within 24 hours.
Very well.
I'm just going to quickly pick up Catalina wedding carry style and just place her in the chair.
It's my head that hurts, not my legs. I could walk.
Yes, but your head will hurt a lot more if you fall on it.
Haha, very funny, PIMM. Alright.
I wouldn't say funny, I would say logical. Shall we? Would you like to see a few shops before we return to the ship? Might give your eyes something to look at.
I will see how I feel. It's still weird. You know, I can see, like, normally I would see, like, here, and then now I can see, like, here, and it's like, oh god, I don't know what I'm looking at anymore. There's so much.
Welcome to my world. When looking through multiple different video feeds, you tend to disregard. I have never, in fact, seen what you have seen until I had linked with Darius. The world looks very nice through the eyes of a human.
Oh. I had not thought of it like that. I suppose now I can see the world a little bit more like you.
It is dull, is it not? but still oddly entertaining.
Is not quite the same, you are right, but is still functional.
Mm-hmm. Someone has turned up Catalina's FOB slider. And with that, you can wheel her back out of this medical facility and make your way back to the ship. And as you're approaching the shipyard, I'd say Dr. Charles and PIMM and Catalina all converge and are walking together back to the ship.
I'd sort of be very distracted, so unless something's said, I probably wouldn't notice.
Greetings, Dr. Charles. Are you feeling better?
What? Not really.
Oh. May I borrow your bioscanner?
Did you get the notes from the doctor?
I did. I haven't had a chance to read through them yet. I've not been feeling well.
That's okay. I will let you know he gave me implant for easy administer of iron dosages.
That's a good idea.
We try contact you to talk to about, but you not respond, so I make
now you will understand what it's like to be plugged into. It is not a good feeling.
I've been suffering from a very bad migraine all day, so when the phone rang, I just disconnected it.
Is okay. I also have big migraine, so you know.
When we get back, I will see what I can do about creating a set of crutches or a walking stick for you until you get back on your feet properly, Catalina.
He's fine.
And as for you, Charles, I will make some tea.
Oh.
Just take me to medical bay for a bit, and I will sleep there for a bit.
Acknowledged.
Okay. As you make your way back inside and go up to the high level, you pass by Lucia, who sees you with this new eye implant, and she says, "Oh, you fix. You know want lesson?"
Just because I fix does not mean that I did not enjoy lesson. Maybe you can teach me something else later.
Okay, she walks off.
Humans are strange.
There's like no context for this for him.
Maybe someday
I just sort of like put my hand in my head and just sort of.
You know what's going on. It's like, oh my god.
Catalina has no shame, and neither does Lucia. So I mean, like.
Yep.
Dr. Charles Barker, I will check on you later. For now, I will take Catalina back to her room.
No, take her to the medical bay.
That is good just in case. I am not fully healed yet.
Very well.
Yep. You take Catalina and put her in the bed above Tazi. Just as a general PSA for Tazi, she's improving. She's continuing to get better, and you do believe that she will wake up. But it'll still take some more time.
While Catalina's recovering in the med bay for the next few days, she'll keep an eye on Tazi and help out where she can. As best she can in her current condition.
I'm sure if you tried, Dr. Charles would just be like, no, rest.
Yeah, but he's not always there. So, you know.
Yeah.
But, like, she'll do that thing of, like, which is what she would have been doing as well when she was looking at, like, taking shifts with Charles. She'd do that thing where, you know, when you talk to patients that are in a coma and things like that, or unconscious, and she'll do that, like, she'll tell stories, and, yeah.
I too can tell stories. I shall come into room and read from the book.
Dimitri, not everyone wants to hear the stories in the book.
But it's captive audience.
Oh, ha, just because we cannot move anywhere. You know, if I tried, I bet Charles would chain me to the bed.
I don't know. Let me go find him and ask.
I found this story on the internet. Once upon a time, I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling up. This is not a story. Never mind.
One of the things I'll do once I get back is I'll look over the bracelet to make sure there's nothing weird about it. Make sure that the chemical inside it is what they said it is.
Mm-hmm.
And once confirming it's the Reverie?
Regalia.
Regalia.
Yes.
That is not part of the pharmaceuticals in the book.
No, it is not.
Aha.
He's got new drugs.
I got new drugs!
I would probably also try to then remove the second dose so I could put it into the pre-tech medical compiler.
You want to be able to produce more of this?
Yes.
I see.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Is that machine possibly able to make more iron supplements, or is it not worth it?
Yes.
Just
It would cost me like nothing. Like I've got 6,000 credits worth of medical.
Yeah.
okay. No. I just need to know if I need to supply up or whether that's something that.
Well, iron supplements are probably something that would be part of Dr. Charles's supply of equipment that gets put into the machine. Iron supplements are incredibly basic, and as long as you continue to visit inhabited planets and have enough for your journeys in space, you shouldn't ever have a problem running out.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for your own note keeping, I'll say you've got on hand between you and what Dr. Charles bought previously about 4 months supply.
Right.
At your required dosage.
I will write that down.
Yes. So as of I think it's the 29th of May in game, or the 30th. You have 4 months supplies. Okay. The day moves on lazily, as I assume PIMM continues to work into the night as he needs not sleep and continues to work on this snazzy new robot of yours.
Mm-hmm.
And when I forget to mention, yes, Charles, you are able to pull apart this chunky party bracelet easily enough. It seems to have been like the casing around it has been manufactured quite simply, and you just need some kind of like leverage to like pop a side off and then pull out the actual guts of this thing and give it a more thorough once over. You do believe that this is what they say it is, and there's nothing inherently wrong with this device.
Cool. I put the dose down to really low to wean myself off it, and basically take the second dose out, put it into the medical compiler, and then put the bracelet back together and just slap it onto my wrist.
Okay. How long are you going to be on this short dose? Like, are you going to be weaning off it for a week, 2 weeks?
We'll try for a week.
Okay, so you set this thing to release the full dose over 1 week.
Yeah.
And as it begins, you begin to feel that tingle. Ooh, it feels pretty good. It's a small effect, but it kind of counteracts the bad feelings you've been having, and you feel pretty alright.
It's like that first sip of coffee after having a coffee headache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yes. You won't gain any kind of benefits to your psychic powers as the dose is so low, but it'll do as they said and will make you feel better for a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get rid of the withdrawal symptoms.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The next day rolls around, and I feel like with Catalina back, actually, the next day rolls around, and the ship's bell gets rung, basically. So it's the space future equivalent of a ding dong.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
And it's a brand new day. So who would be most likely around to answer the door at like pretty early in the morning?
Me.
Whereabouts is the in comparison? That's near the basketball court.
Well, Nick said he'd be. Dimitri would.
I'm up 24/7, so if no one else gets it, I will.
Yeah. So so PIMM is probably in the workshop working, and Dimitri was probably having his morning
ritual.
His morning ritual in a t-shirt, no less. When you both hear the doorbell ring.
PIMM, I shall get door. Stand by for, I don't know, anything.
Very well. I will bring up a feed.
Okay.
I do not think we need to feed them, but that might be a good idea.
Feed as in camera.
Oh, camera. I see.
Okay. As
I go to do.
Walk through the door, PIMM, you bring up a feed of the exterior of the ship, and you can see that there is a well-dressed, kind of like 40-something-year-old Asian man in black tie with like a nice bow tie and everything with his slick back hair. He is holding a data slab, like a clipboard in one hand, and has next to him a large metal crate that's attached to a hover dolly.
Did you want to change the map over to the ship?
Is it not?
No, just on sector map.
Yes.
There we go.
So yes.
Good morning. Welcome to the Gloved Molotov. How might I help you?
He says, "Hello and congratulations."
On what?
You've made it into the tournament. Aren't you thrilled?
Yes. Thrilled. That's totally how I am.
Well, as in accordance with the guidelines, we are here to collect the entry fee for the pot and complete some other registration and present unto you the 2-meter cubed box in which your robot must fit for the tournament.
Ah, okay. Look, I actually thought maybe you were Undertaker, but I could not think of anybody that had died. Come into cargo hold, and I shall wake up the others.
Okay. He turns on the hover dolly and wheels this big metal crate up into the cargo hold. Says, "Oh, I'll just wait right here."
Hey, PIMM.
Yes, Dimitri.
Would you like to play Soundwave of a Screaming Bird to the people who need to be awoken?
I do believe that will upset some of them, but for those who are still asleep, I will play a soft violin.
Well, I'm sure you can play like sound file into a particular room, yes?
Well, it has been a while since I've played a prank. Very well. Rise of the Valkyries.
Yes.
Do you play that into every room?
That is soft violin music.
I play it throughout the entire ship.
That is excellent soft violin music.
So, whereabouts is the speaker within my room?
It's probably next. There's
Probably in the top corner behind your bed somewhere.
Yeah, it's probably getting smashed with telekinesis. Because I still haven't got a full control over it yet.
It could be worse. It could be the last 4 minutes of the 1812 overture.
Yeah.
And bang!
Yeah, basically I'm going to be like alarm clock type, sort of, and then just sort of like bang my hand, and then just have the telekinesis just go sort of spike out and shatter it.
You just shatter the entire panel.
And it's just going to be like, ah, shit.
Yeah, then you'll realise that PIMM installs this.
I just won't tell them it broke. And then I just sort of like get up and get changed.
For those in the stream who don't see this, this is the video I've posted is a auto ejection bed.
Yeah, it just pivots up and drops the person onto the floor.
Yeah, I think Christian needs one of those.
All right.
Okay, so I assume Darius and Lockie are also quite abruptly awoken by this. Would you send it through to the medical bay as well, since Tazzy and Catalina?
No,
okay, so
I would not do.
So Catalina, you do not hear this, though if you were awake, you'd probably hear the sound of metal being distorted by Dr. Charles just like slamming telekinesis into a wall.
Catalina's pretty much an early riser. So she
Also,
probably does hear the crash bang, but she's just like...
You probably hear the rage emitted by certain members of the crew too.
Probably.
You're feeling more like yourself with every hour. So while you're still a bit weak, you think you can probably do things today.
I've at least sat up in bed, and I'm just like playing with my eyes.
And as long as you don't like stress the muscles in the back of your arm too much, because they're still healing and adjusting to the implant, you think you'll be okay.
I presume I've probably got some sort of like bandage or wrap over it to have
I would
it.
have bandaged it or changed the
it-
bandages once you got back to the ship.
It'd have dressings on it.
Yeah, it's all bandaged, and I'd say you also sent out with a sling to kind of make it sit in the required position for optimal healing.
Much to her displeasure.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Lucky? Are you gonna rise early with the sun?
Yeah, he's probably actually like almost been living in the workshop with PIMM at this point, because this is his jam. This is what he likes. Building big robots and machines and things that will cause damage.
So you probably were just asleep on a flat metal table because you're fine with that.
Probably. It's probably better than the bed he had back at home.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and after I finish the song, I go, "Attention, ship inhabitants. We have received a box which will be the gift basket of our death to the enemy."
What?
Okay, so are you guys all good to send over the 50k entry fee for the tournament?
Mm-hmm.
I think I already chipped in.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
we were chipping.
that money was pulled in someone's in like a separate account, and so now essentially he's just coming by to have you officially submit it, because since you're in the week grace period between preliminaries and the tournament, now is when they're collecting the fees and stuff. So he comes in, collects the fees. He gets some more information from you guys, just like names of the he does ask who is going to be piloting this robot of yours, and there's
Pretty sure that was Darius, wasn't it? It was Darius or Lockie. This is out of character, by the way. We decided on this last week.
I think
Lockie is pretending to pilot, and Darius is doing his nimble fingers things that he does.
It's probably helpful that I'm the pilot so I can be closer.
Yeah, probably.
you could.
Yeah.
You kind of also have like a team. So it's not just
pilots, yeah.
Yeah. He says, so your pilots are Lachlan Cooper and Darius Shabani. All right, then. He basically records all that, leaves the box with you, and says, now, just make sure that your bot fits inside this, and make sure that to bring your robot inside this as you arrive for the first time at the tournament. All of the other competitors shall do the same. It lends to the surprise and the mystique, because no one should know what the other competitors are working on prior.
How do you feel about telescoping limbs?
As long as it's in one piece and it fits in the box and doesn't require any other construction or modification before it begins to fight, that's fine.
Right, Doc.
I will have it so that the torso section of the human section will fold back so as to make the more room for the box.
All right. I look forward to seeing you all there. Ta-ta! And he walks off back down the gangplank and
That's
makes his way out
Nice
back
day.
into the city. Now, you guys have about a week's time before the tournament kicks off, and I do more or less know what it is you guys are going for. So, it is a robot centaur that has built in the horse component of it, like the horse torso is a big gun that shoots forward.
Yeah.
Then in the human like hips up section, it is big buff body. One arm is wielding a shield that has like two spikes at the end of it, and the other arm is wielding some kind of lance.
Yeah.
Were we also gonna? Were we also gonna add?
Hello.
Were we also gonna add grab thingamabob to the bottom to make sure it couldn't like fall over?
Yes.
Or if its legs are cut off, it can still fight. It can still move.
Yeah, can do that.
Exactly.
But we have 5 legs. Fuck it. The tail can be a leg.
Sure. So, important pragmatism. You are gonna have to physically buy the components that you need to assemble this robot.
I already went out and bought a bunch of components, and we've still got some components left over. So the guns are going to be assembled into a much larger gun.
Yeah. So it's going to cost more than what you spent. At the very least.
Currently, I submitted 15,000 credits. So that leaves me with exactly 666 credits left.
Nice. Wait, so you bought 15,000 credits worth of components?
No, I put 15,000 credits into the joining fee. And the remaining 2,000 and something odd credits I had, of that I spent, I think, 1,000 on the arts, and then another 400 to buy the thingy. What was it? The plasma projector. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to be pulling things together from multiple different sources. So I'm going to also crack open a notepad here and see how much it is that you guys are going to have to spend on components.
Okay.
So,
is it a cold notepad?
No.
Combining the plasma projector with 4 stun rifles is going to probably pack a punch.
Well, you already have all of the physical components for that gun, and all the other guns. So combining them into one is going to be fine. If you were going to be buying sufficient gravimetrics to support this thing, then essentially you are buying a hover cycle, and that costs 5,000 credits.
I'm going to go over the comms to the ship again.
Attention, inhabitants of the Gloved Molotov. We need to buy more components to make Boom Boom of other bots.
I'm in for that.
And?
May I suggest a pool of credits? Up to 10,000 would be suffice.
Wait a minute. What did they get up to while I was in hospital?
Yeah, this is the first you're hearing about this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
At that point, I'd probably be in the room at that point. I'd be like, robot fights, a waste of money, if you ask me.
Would you like to see the gun I'm building, Catalina?
It's not just a waste of money,
Sure.
Charles. This is honing our skills as well.
I'm just going to submit a
also
theme
fun.
design of the finished product of whatever it is, the photon cannon I'm making.
Sure thing. It looks pretty gnarly.
Oh, damn. PIMM would not want to be hurt by that.
The problem is it can only fire straight. But the good thing about it is extremely dangerous.
Duh. I can see.
I wager it will do the same amount, if not a little bit less damage than a rocket launcher, but without the explosion radius.
Okay.
I theorize, anyway.
Direct application of force rather than collateral.
Correct.
Right. So, what did you guys get up to while I was getting my eyes fixed?
Nothing much.
Stuff.
Right.
I got my robot ass kicked.
Yes, if you come down to the workshop, you can see that PIMM's Nemesis is just kind of suspended on chains and has all these like horrendous slash marks across it. It seems like it's barely holding itself together.
Okay, note to self. Don't get fatal wounds and end up in hospital again because crew goes crazy. Got it. But this is kind of cool.
Only my armature was damaged. I would not put the physical well-being of the crew in jeopardy.
That is good to know.
I am more than the sum of my parts.
Okay.
Indeed. I'm just trying to figure something out. There we go. Let's try that. Need more reference for the cost of things. Okay, so you could okay. I'd say, based on your previous experience constructing armatures, building the big upper body section is like building an armature to a certain extent. So you have experience in that. I'm just trying to figure out which armature would best fit the scale.
Probably the Nemesis.
That is what I was looking at too. Since you are not actually building an entire Nemesis, but the top half of a Nemesis, I'd say you could, with your skill and most of a week's work, build the top half for like 300 credits.
Mm-hmm.
So homicycle 300, top half 300 for the homicycle.
That's 5,300 so far.
Yeah, you also probably need some good armor. You saw in the videos that the armor plating quality that was used by a lot of the fighters was akin to like an assault suit or power armor. It's like
Do I still have leftover armor plating from the power armor and assault suits I disassembled?
I'd say you'd have a decent number, such so that if you... So,
because that was 2 sets of power armor and 2 assault suits.
So you would probably have enough plating left over to plate the top half of the Nemesis, which is fine, and some of the horse legs and the horse butt and all that stuff.
And if I was to just purchase the rest of the plating, or I could just use shields, cut the shields and repurpose them to make plating.
Its shields aren't as good as this plating, unfortunately.
Okay, so I would just have to go out and buy power armor plating, not so much power armor.
Yes, and I'd say you'd probably have to spend another 4,000 credits to cover the rest of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you also have to manufacture the choppy gun, like the weird decapitation shield guillotine thing you've got going on, which is terrifying.
I have put in a sum of 666, my remaining credits. If people could transfer their credits or what they wish to contribute to this pool, I would be very much appreciative sending the information to each of your compats.
Yeah, I'll put in a share.
If I get to my 10,000 credits, I expect to make 400,000 credits as a result.
I'll put in another 8,000, and that's literally all my money.
I was going to say, I can put in another 6,000.
Guys,
that's all we need.
Okay, I would also say that to manufacture the weapons, like the lance and the shield. Lance and shield would probably be another 1,000. So altogether, it would be 10,300 credits is your current operating cost. That's not including the cost for things like peripherals used to control this thing. But you can work that out once you're closer to the construction stage. But yeah.
Just like the armature, I'm going to spend that remaining 3,000 credits to increase the dexterity of the machine.
Mm-hmm.
I will also add in, because it has to be there anyway, I was thinking of adding in receptors for both Darius and Lockie so that they can assist me when doing things.
So you're planning to be inside this thing and operating?
Yeah, but I also want to add controls, sort of. You know, like how you've got a car with 2 steering wheels?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, as you in the previous day, as you were puzzling this thing out, this is too big for just you to pilot.
Yeah.
But by how it's been constructed, you could choose to either pilot the top or pilot the bottom. So you could be planted in the gun torso and be responsible for walking around carrying it.
Yeah, I would gladly do that, and I could have it so that Lockie has the suit top on where he pilots the top of it, and have Darius there as a sort of technician. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Technician.
So you're going to be the one rolling the attacks.
Is piloting the weapons remotely like piloting a drone? Because if so, maybe I should be on guns. But then again, if I'm on guns, I'm not going to be hacking.
Yeah, but if you could probably. I'm going to be working the legs in the movement of the machine and contributing a dexterity point to Lockie, who will be piloting it using that headset and real steel.
Yeah. So I'll let Lockie have all the guns and top off, and I'll just do hacks because maintaining them is going to take the majority of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. So
I will bring it in that I can use it if I have to.
Yeah. So
simply because with computer score, I'm going to be the most accurate shot.
So you could build a rig that would allow Lockie to just wear basically a game peripheral like the VR headset and
Ready Player One.
Yeah, and things like that. So he would. I think essentially the best way of doing it is that he is sat in a swivel chair, and the top half, the torso, is designed to pivot independently of the horse bits. So he can adjust himself, fight however he wants to, completely independently of PIMM, and only have to really communicate with PIMM for him to say where he wants the horse bit to go to be able to fight.
This also means that I will be firing the big fuck off BFG.
Yeah.
Yes. Terrifying. But yes, this is for sure a thing that you guys can act on. And if you like, how about we go to a break here, and then when we jump back in, we smash cut to a week later once you built the thing, and you guys are rolling up to the tournament.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yes, I might have some planning that I'd like to do before then, but I will talk to you in the break about that because I'm not sure if it's possible.
It's okay. We will be back in a little while, maybe about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we will jump back in after just a bit more planning to the tournament proper.
Yes, so about 15:15 we'll be back.
Yeah.
15:15, whatever time it is for you.
Oh wow, that moved. Welcome back. Can my fucking Discords stay stationary, please? Okay, there. That's nice. That's where it should be. Right. So, have any of you, and I'm addressing the players, not the characters, have any of you seen the A-Team?
Yes.
Yes.
Which one?
Do you...
But yes.
The
The original?
Not the movie.
Yeah, but the original?
Yes.
Or the other one?
The TV show, not the movie.
Yes.
So, I would like to imagine very much that in the week that passes, as you are going about your business, the soundtrack from the A-Team is playing in the workshop. It is the da 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 like time lapses of you guys wheeling in this hover cycle, like taking off the top parts of it, attaching this gun to the top of the hover cycle, mounting legs to the hover cycle, and all the while in the background, PIMM is like assembling a new top half of a Nemesis, and then there's this moment where you're like slowly lowering the Nemesis down onto the legs, being like, easy, left, right, careful, and then you're able to successfully marry them. There's this shot of Darius just judgmentally glaring and saying, no, more antennas. We need more antennas on this thing. and demanding it gets done.
And antennas that need to look like a fucking porcupine.
And one moment where Lockie is trying his hardest to wield the decently large weapons that have been constructed for this robot to use. It's Lockie with this like 2.5 meter long big metal lats going, no, it's fine, I got this, you guys, and just waving it around.
D20 demands your best Mr. T impression.
Pitiful.
Pitiful.
I pity the fool who don't care about his horse.
Whose horse are we talking about here?
Mine, the centaur.
That's not a horse, that's racist.
He's man horse.
Oh, man.
Half
Yes,
man, half horse, all power.
Does that make him Morse?
It is. Yes. So it's more or less all hands on deck amongst the crew of the Gloved Molotov, and all help is appreciated for the hasty construction of the robot.
Whenever Dr. Charles is not looking after Tazi, sorry, when Charles is looking after Tazi, Catalina, once she's back up and running, she'll go down and help as well. Make this crazy bot.
Mm-hmm.
We need tasers.
So can all people who are contributing to the construction of this please make me a tech post-tech roll?
A tech post-tech. Why do you do this to me?
With intelligence.
Tech post-tech?
Sure.
Tech post-tech.
Hang on.
It still comes down to the good roll. Hey!
Okay.
Why does my roll of 8 come up as red?
Because you got a 1.
Because you
got
rolled
1 in the part of it.
Yeah.
I still rolled a 1, but I still did well.
I rolled a 9.
Rolled a 9
Yeah.
on the last one.
It's guns,
Oh,
man. You know
6,
guns.
That's fucking garbage.
I rolled a 6 plus 3, so I'm good.
Yeah, I rolled
I'm
a
not
4
even
and a 1. That's pretty bad.
I've got a -1.
Okay.
2d6 plus 1 plus 1.
I'm distracted by other things.
You're distracted by that nice, pleasant, warm feeling that's inhabiting your entire being.
No, that's his new interest in pharmacology.
Sure.
This centaur can fire syringes out of its eyes.
Oh God! And as it gets down to the final night, I'd say it's time for a field test. Lockie, you are strapped into what is essentially a stationary swivel chair. It contains at the base of that chair a motor, so you don't actively turn it. There's a control on your left hand joystick that if you turn it left and right will swivel your positioning. Yep. And oh no! And as you're doing this, the torso mounted on top of the robot is following suit and is also going. And so you get all nice and strapped in, put the VR helmet on with the earphones and the mic and gloves and shoulders and all that jazz. So basically, as you put it on but don't have the goggles on, any motion that you make with your body, even flexing back and forth with your spine, is mirrored by the upper body of this centaur robot that you've made.
Oh yeah, real steel mode.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to add that the horse, the human portion of the horse, folds back so that it can fit inside the box.
Indeed. So it's actually a pretty beefy thing of built, but assuming that the horse section curls its legs up, and the human section lies back, it will be able to fit diagonally inside the box, along with the weapons, which are now by requirement mounted and permanently affixed to this thing's limbs.
Mm-hmm.
They can't be separatable, so they are they are as one. You don't have any finger control.
I don't need finger control. I've got finger control.
So if you hadn't seen, this thing has been designed to have a large lance-type spear thing in the right hand, and as you're just testing out the upper half, you put your goggles down and start doing some wild stabbing. There's a lot of force behind this thing. It feels very impactful.
Mm-hmm.
And on your left hand is a shield with 2 large points on either side. And as you swivel to face a test dummy that's been set up, you basically pin the test dummy against the wall, press a button on your console, and this large sheet of monoblade just slides out of the shield and decapitates the test dummy, then slides back in again.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what I wanted.
Yep. And PIMM, if you want, you can get yourself mounted up in the horse half of this and give the weapon a test fire.
Mm-hmm.
Before that.
Mm-hmm. Sorry?
Before that, I'd like to just quickly dance as the horse. It's because I don't get to be a horse very often. Yeah.
Stand by. I'm about to activate the weapon. Powering.
It makes a very impressive sound. It's kind of a. And you can fire it at your leisure. Well, what are you aiming at?
Well, nothing in the ship. I'm gonna aim outside at a piece of scrap.
Okay.
Please don't miss and hit someone coming by.
You make a shot, and in the moment, I'd say you forget to lock up your horse legs, and the kick of the discharge just kind of makes you rear back onto your hind legs a bit. The shot doesn't hit anything of import, and just discharges dramatically across the surface in this shower of sparks and crackling lightning energy. But it's a big oof. It's a big hit.
I will have to brace myself, and I think this would have been a good time to use the rear leg, the 5th leg at the back.
So
that can be a stabilizer.
Oh no!
You mean the tail?
No, this horse has 6 legs now.
Oh God.
Okay.
Right.
We're all going to hell.
As you are all preparing to make sure that everything is working fine, Brother Dimitri, you notice something on your person.
I noticed something on my person.
Yes. So something on your person is moving of its own accord.
I'm a little concerned.
That's normal for a man.
The egg, you goosehead.
Sorry.
It has been a week. You were told that the egg you were given would hatch in a week, and it's been a week.
Oh.
And so you can feel what begins as like a gentle swaying of it inside your breast pocket as it begins to move and make motions to hatch.
Just like the vibration. Guys.
What's happening?
I think it is time for egg to hatch.
Oh, have you been sitting on it like I requested?
Yet.
All you see is the machine just...
I'm a large man, and it is just a small egg. If I sat on it, it would be crushed.
You should
True.
probably take it somewhere other than the workshop.
Yes, I suggest the med bay or the kitchen area.
I will come with you. Let's go.
Why the
Dimitri.
kitchen?
No, we go mid-bay.
Because if it's hungry, it might want food.
If it is hungry, I shall feed you to eat.
I am not nutritionally sound.
Look, I don't know what it eats. Maybe it eats shitty old bitchy fucking computers from 700 years ago.
Wow.
He's getting sassy.
It has been a long time since I have felt insulted. Well played.
Okay. If you and Catalina make your way upstairs, in the week that's passed, Catalina, you have more or less entirely recovered and feel like your old self.
And I've been looking after Tazi with Dr. Charles when I'm not in the workshop.
You've had the occasional day of fine tuning where one day you'll be hyperactive and realize you've had just a bit too much iron, and the next day you'll feel a bit slow and realize your dose is a bit less. So you are still fine tuning as you go, but you're at a functional range right now, and you're just honing in on the specific amount you need. So you and Dimitri make your way upstairs and kind of gather around the dining room table, just put the egg in the center. And after a few minutes of this weird, almost spherical golf ball looking thing, swaying back and forth, it cracks, and out of it begins to crawl this little bug thing. I'm going to get a picture that I think is the nearest approximation to its appearance and drop it into this chat.
Oh, look, it is a little bug thing. Oh, look at that. It's like Caterpillar, except armored.
Oh, so cute!
So it's
got a ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
What?
In terms of scale, it's probably a bit bigger than your thumb at the moment.
It reminds me of the caterpillar from Labyrinth.
We haven't had it long, but I love it.
And it just cracks out, kind of rolls over onto its back and just waves its legs up in the air and just looks around.
It's very cute.
And it sees you, Dimitri.
I rub its belly with my finger.
Oh,
it's very cute.
It's a little bug. As you start to do the belly rub, it kind of grabs onto your finger with its limbs and just starts to crawl up your finger and just I kind of like crawls around your hand and tries to like nestle itself in the palm of your hand and just curls up.
Congratulations. We now have a mascot. Gloved Molotov. Molly, may I suggest...
What do we name it?
I don't know. Molly's first suggestion. Any other suggestions for the little creature that has made
No.
from
Wait.
here?
I like Molly. Molly's cute. Is possible for boy or girl to be Molly. And is adorable. He's good.
I'm just walking past and I'm with a mug of coffee in my hand and I sort of just sleepily, like I've clearly got rings under my eyes and shit. I just turn around and say, look, honestly, I think I've had enough Molly in my time. And then I just keep walking.
Okay, ignore Darius.
He's slightly correct, but well, we can't call it Molotov.
No, but he's mascot now, no?
Mascotov? Excellent.
No, I think Molly is cuter. Much cuter.
But what about if it does not stay cute?
I do believe you are the parent, therefore you get to choose, Dimitri.
That's fair. You can choose whatever name you like. You can call Steve if like.
You can call him Steve, but I will be upset, and you may or may not be locked out of the bathroom.
That is fine. I would just pee in the main computer.
Touche, Dimitri, touche.
What about...
We could give it an acronym, perhaps.
Sure.
I just don't know what.
I was going to suggest Little Diablo.
Diablo?
Diablo. Little devil. Da.
El Diablo.
Well, its true nature has not been not come out yet, so maybe it is not devil.
Maybe not.
We could call it Charles.
He's close to devil.
I do it just for the
That gets so confusing.
Hey, Charles, get down from there. What are you doing on top of Kevin?
Oh, this would be so entertaining, but I think Charles might kill you.
It is not my fault that he is what is easy to get reaction out of.
How about Mantis of loving, literal, yield? Shortened, it's Molly.
We could just call it Mantis. Or Prey.
Look.
In honor of its previous
Just call
origins?
it Molly. It is fine.
Okay.
I feel I have bullied him.
No, I cannot think of anything better.
It will be named Molly unless otherwise decided by Dimitri. Welcome to the world, little Molly.
Maybe when it grows up and becomes of age, we give it a more adult name.
Maybe he can choose his own name.
As your brain kind of settles on this being the bug's name, you hear inside your own head your voice, but pitched up 2 octaves, saying the word Molly.
Dimitri or all of us?
Yes, just Dimitri.
I think it is telepathic because that was not my voice in my head just now.
It was close, but very high.
What are you
Keep it away from Charles.
Keep it away from Charles?
Yes.
Maybe he can teach it better.
Perhaps.
Anyway, it is...
One moment, and Catalina will go into the kitchen, because I guess we're in the med bay. We'll go out into the kitchen, because it's just there. and grab like a container or something. Yeah, and grab like a container and like a tea towel, and like make like a little makeshift little like bed thing and bring it back.
Oh.
For now,
When
we
I
can
was
make better
traveling
home
to-
later.
Yes, when I was traveling to Thorhala many years ago, I had inside my memory stored a bioplantation sphere. I might be able to make a miniaturized version where
Ooh.
the mantis bug can enjoy its own atmosphere.
I would like to help you with this if possible, PIMM. That sounds very interesting.
Very well. The information and memories are fragmented due to many deletions and compression of files, but with some time and the supercomputer's help, I should be able to uncompress them.
If not, maybe you could get just enough information to come up with an alternative.
Yeah, we can
Yes.
figure something out. Does the
A
little bug...
miniaturized biodome.
Does the little Molly... What does it eat?
Insects typically eat meat.
Do they?
I think it will probably tell me when it is hungry. I get this feeling.
Okay.
When you
Insects of
say
the mantis variety
when you
typically-
say hungry, it says back in your voice, but again pitched up.
What? It says what?
It is
Hungry.
Ash, you fuck.
It says mole.
Says
Oh, it is telling me it is hungry, but I still don't. Well, like, okay,
Okay,
maybe
okay.
we
Let's
can
take it
offer
to
it a
kitchen.
selection.
Da. Let's go to kitchen. We will get meat. We will get green. I'm sure there's some green in the fridge. Maybe some rice. I don't know.
Mantis
Bread?
are typically carnivorous. That is what this info says.
But is not mantis.
this
Is
isn't a mantis.
is the other bug the one that sit on head of
Yeah.
Control
other
bug.
creature? I'm sorry, I wasn't there to see what they look like.
We call it.
Well,
we call it
I
oversea
would have
bug,
seen,
perhaps.
but there was a large bloody crack in the screen.
Yeah.
You seem
Well, that's
like
bloody.
Do you
creature.
have a close approximate?
If you do present some food options to this
Yeah,
guy,
we'll grab like some broccoli, a carrot, bit of meat.
yeah,
Some bread,
Bread,
rice.
Lettuce.
lettuce, some leftover food that's
Yeah.
been
Some
cooked.
coffee.
yeah, it does it does gravitate towards vegetables more so. In fact, if you guys have anything like a cherry tomato, it has the most fun with that. Like it'll gnaw a hole, and then as it eats, climb inside it, hollow it out, and then just explode out of the now hollow cherry tomato, and then go on to another one.
Definitely
Note
cherry
to
tomatoes,
self.
and it will never have it will have an endless supply of cherry tomatoes. It's too cute not to.
Note to self, going to get different tomatoes. Roma, cherry, simple, basic, and root tomatoes.
I wonder if it like potato as well. Potato is good. Or
Might be a little
strawberries.
bit
Maybe
hard.
strawberry. Oh,
Yeah.
Pim, can we make a garden in here? We make bio little space. Oh, it'd be fun.
It is very possible the biodomes in my compressed memory, from the images I can see, a lot of them were specifically for plantations.
So you spend the remainder of your evening kind of like cooing over Molly and fantasizing about all the ways you can make their life nice and comfortable. Then the next day rolls around. It's time for robot fight.
Doctor,
Has Molly doubled in size, or
Molly, after having eaten like 3 cherry tomatoes,
of cherry tomatoes?
Molly has increased in size slightly overnight.
Catalina, I'm not sure. Like, growth rate of this.
It's okay.
Little.
If it gets too big, we find it a home.
Like Cargo Bay?
Sure, it can live with my motorcycle, but don't eat motorcycle.
Okay.
Dr. Charles, are you going to be joining us for the bot fights, or would you like to? No. This question no come out right. Do you want to go to bot fights, or do you want me to go bot fights? Because I am happy to stay here to look after Tassie if you want to go.
I will look after Tazi. That is fine.
Okay. Also, how is your head?
Go.
You've been very irritable the last week, and it's concerning. You're worse than me.
After that first day, after I put the bracelet on, I would have been fine after that point.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He's been okay, but it's been a week, and your dose has worn off. Like this morning, you wake up and you feel a bit lousy.
A bit lousy?
Yeah.
At that point, I'm sort of going to be like, I think I need a 2-week dose. And I'll go over to the medical thing, press the button, and have another dose of it be produced.
It'll take a few hours to get manufactured, but as you're having that done, Lucia does come up and say, if you want to go bot fight, I watch Tazi.
I figured you might want to go to the bot fight and watch.
Bring back souvenir. You go.
Right.
You spend too much indoors. Go play.
I like the indoors mostly. I need to wait until something's done first.
It's okay. We're not leaving straight away. We still got to prep.
Yeah.
There's a couple of hours still.
So you have enough time in the day for the fresh dose to be manufactured. Just mark off the cost of the components on your notes. I'm going to slide over here.
Actually, sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, in the week that we were doing bot preparation stuff, if there was any time that Catalina had a free moment, she'd actually she'd talk to Lockie. Lockie.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I would like to go get Tazi some clothes for when she wakes up. I don't think she would be very well suited for mine, and let's be honest, nobody wants to wear the same clothes all the time. So, do you know what she like to wear?
I mean, mostly what you do, kind of like. She's a bit of an engineer herself.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, she used to work on the engines back on the ship.
Oh, I see. So if I like, she like. Okay, that makes easy. Hopefully. Is Tazi like shorter or taller or bigger or smaller than Catalina?
I'd say Tazi's about 5'6", so a bit shorter.
Yeah.
But also kind of like so shorter and not quite as skinny.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she'll go and get her some clothes during the week. A few, just an assortment of outfits and stuff like that, just so she can have some comfortable clothes to wear when she does eventually wake up.
Yeah, Lockie's the worst person to ask for fashion advice. Super power rubber. That's the answer.
Yeah, but you're the only person that would know the answer, so.
Super power armor painted pink.
You need to look at what I've posted in the chat to fully understand, okay, Lockie?
That's all I wanted to do. That was just a little thing that Catalina would have done for Tazi during the week.
Yeah, so, like, at this stage, considering how long she's been, like, in a coma, like very early on, she would have been put into a hospital gown. So the one set of clothes that she was wearing initially would just have been next to her. It wouldn't take much to just like pick up that set of clothes, get a rough approximation of her size, and go out and pick up some stuff. Most of what you get is things like socks, underwear, like things you need in bulk, and also like some bulk packs of like t-shirts that have like trendy Mandarin phrases on the front and things like that.
No. It's the opposite. It's trendy English phrases spelt wrong. And phrased wrong. And Catalina gets them because she thinks they're funny.
Yeah, that works. So,
but she'll get her like some practical stuff too, like a coat and some pants and, you know, like boots or something. Just some general clothes and stuff so that she has a couple of outfits. She's not going to be wearing the same thing every day.
Yeah, I'd say if you're buying all that, mark off like 250 credits to pay for it all.
Yep. Also, was there any money that we needed for the bot, which we didn't cover?
No, it's all good.
Okay, cool.
You have paid for your entry. Hang on a second, I think I've got an idea. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to say yoink, because it's already loaded. Roll Arena. So, after a week's time, and as the evening comes around, the six of you converge on the Robot Rumble Arena with your own bot packaged up in the hover crate. And you were told to approach during through the vehicle entrance, and as you do approach it, it is close to night time, and there's lots of like festive spotlights shooting up into the air, like refracting against like strategically placed like panels mounted to the roof of the cavern you're in. So every so often, as the light sweeps over, it catches the panel, and there's just a dispersion of brightly colored lights. They are clearly putting on a show with this place. It itself looks like a repurposed warehouse where the exterior is still just functional, if a bit battered. As you go inside, it's been respec'd to be still like hard and functional, but has a lot more snazziness to it inside. You approach the rear entrance and are greeted by two guards who see you. They say, "Oh yes, hello, welcome, come on in," and you make your way inside. As you do, you see a range of people. Hang on a second, change my layer. So, boop. Boop. You can see a lot of the other competitors who are also just standing around their own crates that are sealed up, and they are running like cursory scans of their boxes while like looking kind of like paranoid over their shoulders and making sure that no one from the other teams are paying attention to them. There are other people around these tables besides the ones visible, like programmers and engineers and stuff. But these people seem to be like commanding most of what's going on, and are probably like the pilots or the operators of these machines.
Can I launch my observation drone?
You can, yes. Is that one that can stealth itself?
Sorry?
Can it do stealth?
Well, all drones can do stealth.
Like, does it have the ability to go like full
it's
camo?
It's a slate bus, so no, not full camo, but it can just float around me and follow me round.
Sure thing. I'll just jump over to this dungeon here and get the thingamies. Here we go. Oops, I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. Oops. So yes, you can of course have brought these guys along.
I'm gonna start making use of my eyes, and I'm going to observe our other competitors.
That's what I'm doing as well.
Yeah, but Catalina's also curious because she's not had the opportunity to really test her eyes except on you guys, which she knows well enough to not need.
It's observation suite as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the same functionality.
So she's gonna see their body temperatures and stuff like that.
So we should both make perception.
Indeed. As you guys are making that roll, I should ask, Dimitri, did you bring Molly along with you to this?
Heck yeah, he would never have left behind. Catalina wouldn't let him.
Molly is sitting just inside, shirt on shoulder.
Yeah.
No, I don't see much.
What am I doing? Perception?
Yes, perception with wisdom. Yep.
Do you need me to make it as well?
If you're just perusing with your eyes, then by all means.
Yes.
Ooh, not bad.
The new eyes.
You are distracted, Lockie, by the crowds that are kind of gathered out here.
Mm-hmm.
These appear to be panes of glass that are probably one-way glass. So on the other side, they're mirrored. So you can see through and see that a decent crowd is gathering and are like murmuring and milling about. A lot of people have drinks that they're probably getting from this bar up here, things like that. And there's a general electricity and anticipation in the room that probably attracts a lot of your attention. Catalina, as you are skimming through the visible spectrums with your eyes, oh yeah, we didn't, oops, and just having a once over. I'm just going to double check what you can see.
I'm also going to attempt to lip read as many people as I can at once who are working on machines.
Indeed. As you launch these drones and they're just flying around you and having a scan, so Catalina has thermal vision, radiation, and lasers outside the range of visible light, as well as radio transmissions. Catalina, you would for sure see that the scanners people are using to do the final checks on their robots are emitting a kind of radio transmission.
Wait, you get radio transmissions?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's cool.
Well,
I can't intercept them. I can just see that they're happening.
Oh yeah, but that's still cool.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. So you see people are doing all this pinging and stuff. You would probably also see some thermal readings inside all of these boxes because they contain portable power supplies and are able to do such a thing. You probably see the most interesting thermal reading coming from this robot right over here. Mm-hmm. There's a crate that, well, it's hard to read through the crate, but it seems to have oddly placed thermal readings that kind of make you go, oh, that's weird.
Things that make you go,
Yeah. Darius, you were trying to read lips. It seems that even with your ears, you can also pass that most people are just talking about like final checks, making sure everything is up and set to go. It's just a lot of last minute hasty prep conversation. And as you come in, you actually, I think you would all notice something quite peculiar. This individual right here looks not quite human. They are...
Zoom in on it so people can see.
Yeah. They are the size of a human, the general shape of a human, but this individual seems to have a lot of features present on a cat.
Oh God, there's a tabaxi here.
So,
does it have wares?
I was going to say, does it have wares?
Yeah, so essentially, you see what is the equivalent of a tabaxi, except that they are dressed in very flamboyant Victorian era clothes, steampunky kind of looking clothes. And if anyone's curious to know more about this, I will allow you to make.
There you go. I did perception roll of 9.
I think Darius would probably just take one glance and stop caring. So
I would call that a culture spacer roll. Perhaps could work.
I could do that.
Sure.
I would definitely be interested. Lockie's curious of things outside of his own world.
Intelligence or wisdom?
Intelligence, because you are recalling information you may have previously learned.
Can I just roll a perception roll to see what I notice about this person?
No,
sure.
I don't know anything.
Oof. Oh, no.
Apparently, Elptus had good schools at this point. Let's see what happens with the next one.
So, Brother Dimitri and Lockie, you are both oblivious as to how it is that this could be. This could be like some kind of accursed spirit from the nether realms.
Oh, come on. It's not that hard. It's bloody like person with tail, like boop boop.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dude who's had bioorganic genetic modification because he's a furry.
Essentially. Dr. Charles, you are able to recall that there is a planet in this sector called Monteros. It, as a planet, it is responsible for storing and redistributing all of the communication done throughout the sector. However, the planet only has a tech level of 2. So, basically, the entire planet is a computer that is running on Victorian-era technology. So, like, an entire building is a single circuit, like a single piece of circuitry. And so the entire planet is just dedicated to being a computer.
Right.
On that planet, there is the humans that live there are and have been for a long time genetically engineered to better suit the biosphere that came in the first place. So basically, the humans landed, had some troubles, and then genetically spliced themselves with an indigenous cat species to make them more able to live on the planet. And they have been existing happily for hundreds of years. This must be one of them.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Catalina, you were trying to see if you noticed anything interesting about this individual.
Yeah, just as a character, as a person, as a competitor, contestant.
As a person, as a competitor, he seems a bit more reserved than some of the other pilots. And while they are like loudly calling out things, saying now do this, do that, he's more like approaching a person individually, is saying a thing to them at a sensible volume, thanking them for their time, and then moving on to the next person. He seems very polite, like Charles tier polite if Charles was actually polite.
If Charles wasn't practically a space pirate.
Ooh. A space pirate?
You kind of are.
That's exactly what a space pirate would say.
Yeah.
So, as you guys make your way in, it seems that this table right here has been set aside for you. So you can proceed in with your box and just plop it down on the table and do all that jazz. It seems there is a small amount of time before they make the initial announcements and things. So if there's anything else that you want to achieve amongst this crowd of people, by all means.
Don't know.
I'm just going to try and tell from a distance which machines are going to be easiest to break and how.
You actually can't tell because all of them, just like yours, are in big metal boxes.
Oh, that's shitty.
If you recall the previous, the guy that came by, he said that there's a certain show of it being made, of the bots being revealed for the first time, including to the other competitors. So, if you are quite curious as to who you might be fighting, you'll need to pay as much attention to the tournament as the spectators to see what the other bots are capable of and who you might end up fighting.
Yeah.
So if no one else has anything else to do.
Since we're going to be pretty much moving over closer to... Oh, whoops, I just moved myself.
Yes. Okay.
Catalina's going to take another look at the box, like the competitor off in the corner, the one that had the curious readings.
Oh, yes. So
yes.
I just like check him more thoroughly with your eyes or go over and talk to him?
No, I'm just checking more thoroughly with my eyes. Hang on, I'm just trying to fucking... computer.
You don't get any other information with your eyes by being a bit closer to them. You still get those weird thermal readings. I'll just see if there's anything else that might jump out.
If I mention those readings to the group, or would they be able to help me determine what that might be, or is it just really vague?
It's hard to tell but through the box, but it's like the temperature readings aren't as consistent with the other onboard power supplies people have, and is more concentrated towards the top. So
I've got a question. Have you told me that, Alice?
Yeah. I would tell you guys now that we're at our station.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to hack it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You pull out your compad and start searching for wireless access points. You do get several pings from the robots, from the boxes around you, but just from a glance, you know that they are all heavily encrypted.
Okay.
If you do, I think you could probably puzzle out which of the signals is coming from which robot just by you having a 2 in computers. You are able to deduce that this robot actually doesn't have any kind of wireless way of interacting with other computers, at least not in a conventional way.
It's not controlled by a remote. It's actually a VI or something. It doesn't seem to be able to communicate. Anyway, give me a bit of time. I'm just going to pick the first on my list and try and break into it.
Okay, let's just check and see who is VI powered and who is piloted. Based on where you're standing, I'd say the first one you get a ping from is this guy right here.
Yep.
He's currently that guy he's dressed in a very quintessentially Chinese way, from 2,000 years ago, kind of old school looking clothes, including a big wide brimmed rice paddy hat, which seems very peculiar. He's kind of fussing through a hefty leather bag that you assume probably contains his control systems, but it's kind of keeping them to himself, just leaning into the bag and fussing around.
Yep.
Since you have some time, go ahead and make me a computer roll. What are you hoping to achieve with this hack?
To activate and use its weapons inside of the box on itself.
Okay.
Just set off an explosion in the back room.
Yep. So you are trying to subvert a system, I'd say. You're trying to make a system do something it would normally do, but how you want it to.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You do this, and you are able to make a connection. So the hack is just hurt yourself with your own weapons.
Yeah. How it does that, I have absolutely no idea because I'm not gathering information from it. I'm just... Yep. So I might even activate the wrong system, and it might just suddenly extend its legs and ram its face into the top of the box. I don't know.
Well, as you tell it to do that, you don't hear anything like a weapons discharge or a big boom. Well, you kind of hear a big boom. You see a large, almost fist-sized dent get punched on the interior of this box and cause this big indentation get pushed out.
And the moment that happens, I'm immediately going to turn to him and go, "Oi, what the hell are you doing?"
He sees this, looks up at the box, looks at you, looks back down at his controls and says, "Real funny, guys. Keep it in the ring next time, okay?"
I was going to see if I could get him kicked out or disqualified early, but...
Look, there's a culture of hacking in this competition as long as no one gets caught, so he assumes someone in this room is messing with him, but doesn't care enough to follow up.
I just sort of I sort of just mentally shrug and laugh a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So
because Yeah, I thought it would be slightly stricter on that, and I was more just testing the waters. But if it's that sort of level, I'll just go, all right, fine. I know a little bit more about what that is now.
Mm-hmm. It's probably some kind of punching machine.
Yep.
Okay. As you guys are kind of milling about and settling in, you hear an announcement come over the loudspeakers just in the room you're in, and it says, "Competitors, we are soon going to be beginning round 1. I repeat, we shall be beginning round 1. Round 1 shall be fought between Team Sensibilities and Team Brick Outhouse." And so you see the cat man kind of like go, oh, okay, and get kind of like hurried and start to rush about a bit more. And there is a similar response from this crew over here. It seems a kind of like Catalina and Dimitri would definitely peg this woman as being Russian. She is like platinum blonde hair, built, like pale skin, and so she and her crew pull her hover dolly off the table, and the two of them both make their way towards the competition area.
You guys going to make any bets?
That's a good point, actually.
No, I'm not really in for the betting.
I mean, we can always tamper while we're here.
You can do what you want, I suppose.
Just saying, I have no money to bet, but if you guys want to, go ahead.
Oh, I could give you money if you want to bet, but I'm not interested.
I've already got a big enough bet on our own success.
Yeah, that's true. I just want to watch and see what they come up with.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As they make their way across, these two rooms here are built as kind of elevator rooms. So you can walk into them on this level, and then the entire room just lowers a floor, and then this door opens out onto the general tournament area. This entire room in here is about a story below all of the surrounding windows. So all these people observing are just up high looking down, and so are all of you. So both rooms get lowered down. Both competitors wheel or hover out their boxes, and the announcer says, "All right, everybody, it's time for round 1. We have Team Sensibilities against Team Brick Outhouse. Competitors, please unveil your machines." And then all at once, both competitors press buttons, and the sides of their crates just explode outwards and reveal the machines that are inside. I'm just gonna go bippity flippity. I want to go token layer. Okay. Token layer.
Is that
okay.
Gelatinous cube?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
It's a cube shape, but it's not a gelatinous cube. I used as good of a stand-in as I could.
I like the kitty bot.
Yeah, so Team Sensibilities have a robot that looks by and large like a big panther. It is. Cool. It's moving a lot like a panther would, and you don't see any kind of intricate controls in his hand. He's holding something that you suspect might be for an emergency override, but you'd suspect based on how this thing's moving and what the pilot's doing that it is being run by some kind of panther VI that's designed to replicate how a panther would do its business. Not like do its business, but yes.
And
all right,
suddenly
Cat, now go take a shit.
Taking a crap. By the way, all the time that this is going on, I'm using observation drones to spot weaknesses or how certain mechanics work on them. So I'll do that for the winner.
I was going to say, I do want to make like a tactics roll to see if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I also do that?
I will begin. I will first describe the other robot, and you guys can do that. So
I mean, we'll just do it on the winner because otherwise it's going to be a lot slower.
Fair enough. So the second robot kind of explodes out of its crate, and for a second you think the crate maybe didn't explode because what's inside is just this big, black, ominous-looking monolith of a thing. Like it's almost as big as the crate itself. But as the pilot like puts on her headgear and kind of flicks some controls to turn it on, you notice that this thing is kind of designed out of 5 cuboid shapes. So one large cube dominates the top of it, but underneath it, at each corner, are 4 smaller cubes. And as she turns it on, these cubes start functioning as tiny little legs, and it starts slowly shuffling into the arena.
Just built like a tank, effectively.
Basically, this thing is definitely a brick outhouse.
Romney's in love with the cube. With the block, sorry, with the block.
Yes. And so since it's been announced, I can turn on the name functionality as well. so you can see what they're called.
Dancing bear.
Brick outhouse.
Yeah. So as these robots kind of begin to feel themselves, they call out, 3, 2, 1, and all of a sudden, the panther just like leaps forward, like runs down the stairs and leaps up onto this large box that kind of sits in the center of the room. And all at once, 2 pistols slide out of its front shoulder blades and start taking pot shots at this big cube. And it's going. The large brick seems to just shrug it off and just starts like slowly lumbering forwards as all of these laser discharges just bounce off its very, very tough hide. And while some impact do land, it's not really making much of a difference. It stomps forwards, and then you all kind of feel the lights in the area flicker just a little bit as you hear kind of a. And Catalina, and probably Lockie, you would definitely recognize that sound as that of a high-powered electromagnet.
Oh, that's not good. And
all at once, this big cat taking these shots, you see like large, you see multiple monoblades come out of its like front and rear paws and start sinking into the box as it's being pulled bodily towards brick outhouse. It's kind of just struggling, but it is managing to stay in place, and it takes some more shots at that brick outhouse. But again, it's this monolith of a thing. It's very well built, and after it like amps up its intensity and gets even closer to this thing, it is pulled from the box and is just like magnetically pinned to the wall of this robot. And as it's like struggling and trying to escape, and it's like, and it is making cat sounds. The entire robot, like, it pivots itself and the cat that's on its side, and just walks up to a wall and just starts essentially using its own weight to crush it in between itself and the wall.
That's fucked.
Mm-hmm. And so the panther, now that it's like in close proximity, you see that it has a nice flowing tail. The end of the tail splits in 2, arcs up, and takes a strike at brick outhouse, and just like sparks discharge all over its exterior. And the outhouse does kind of like struggle and wane in response to the shock, but it's still crushing. It's still crushing. And I'm gonna go for a roll here, but this time physically, because if Ash can do it, why not me? hey, it gets free. So after being crushed, the panther was able to kind of squirm its way out, jump, like climb up the wall that it was being pressed up against, land on the opposite side, and then turn around. Before the brick house can move and get its bearings, its shoulder blades kind of pivot up, and like keeping its head pressed against the wall, takes shots with its shoulders over the wall to avoid being pulled any closer. And as these shots go on, the brick house is beginning to show some wear, but it is able to like make its way around up in this direction. Pulls the kitty in once more, and just the sheer force of being pulled towards it and it ramping up its own magnetism just like crumples the cat up and renders it thoroughly broken. And then the electromagnet turns off, and the now broken and wrecked cat body just like drops onto the ground, defeated. There are massive cheers from the audience going, yeah! Breakout house! Breakout house! Breakout house! And other excitable people things are observed.
All right then.
Yep.
Okay.
And that is what you guys see.
So, do I notice anything interesting in the different spectrums that I can see of this thing?
Okay, who's got the bag of chips?
M&M's, man.
So you can make a tactics roll if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to as well. To
Yeah,
see.
With intelligence or wisdom?
I'd say intelligence.
So I assume the stun actually had the biggest effect from the look of it.
Indeed, it did. It's a big monolith that's covered in armor, but it's relying a lot on its own internal stores of electricity.
Mm.
Yep.
Ooh, Charles. You're just like agog by the spectacle, going, "Wow, this is way cooler than I thought it was gonna be."
I'm more distracted by the cat person, more likely.
Just going, cat people. Okay, Catalina and Lockie, your takeaway from this is,
I got 10.
yes, I'll give them information and then give you more because of your higher roll.
Yep.
So your takeaway from this is that it looks like this electromagnet is directional. It's not like safe or wise to have the entire thing just emitting like electromagnetic waves out in all directions. So what you assume from seeing how it fought is that it has some kind of directional electromagnet that pivots inside its case and can be turned on and off. So it just emits a cone of magnetism that can pull people in and then use the force to crush a robot against itself. Darius, what you noticed is in terms of the electronic shock that was applied to it, the stun damage, it does appear to have had a greater effect than just a regular laser shot because of how much this thing is running on electricity. Introducing more to it's probably at a kind of delicate balance in terms of its internal electronics, and applying more did interfere with that.
I kind of want to know what it would be like to overclock it now.
That is a very good question, but you have quite enough information.
Did I see anything interesting with the different spectrums that I can see now?
In terms of radio waves, yes, you did see that the Russian pilot who was controlling Breakout House was actively controlling it with her frequencies, while the Catman, he probably had something in his hand that was probably used for an emergency override in case the cat gets frisky or tries to attack the viewers or something. But aside from that,
considering that that magnetism is directional and she's controlling it, if you got between her and the robot, she wouldn't be able to use it.
Good point. And as you guys look up at the bracket that's now projected on the screen, the brick outhouse slides up and looks to be competing against one of two other teams. One is Mega Grass, and one is Team Austerity.
Mega Grass.
Yeah.
So is Team Austerity a box of tissues?
No. You guys are up next.
All right, here we go.
There's a loud announcement made, and it's all right. Team Coffee Sniffers against Team Jump Scare. Let's give them a hand, everybody. And so as the shattered carcass of Team Sensibilities is removed and deposited onto this table for the Catman to lament his early loss. These two retreat to their own table, and she begins some maintenance. Since her bot has already been revealed and people have seen how it works, she feels a lot more comfortable beginning to perform some short-term repairs here and now, physically, before she can return to her own workshop and do more work in anticipation for tomorrow. Yes. You guys can make...
So everyone does one fight a day?
Yes, because people need time to repair their robots.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you guys are against Team Jumpscare, which appears to be this individual. As you kind of are making your way towards the lists, the guy that it seems you're going to be fighting looks like a very greasy-looking Greek man.
I don't know if you guys can see the stream, but I've scrolled in and I've zoomed into him.
Like his hair
is okay. He has that.
Mm-hmm. Like his hair is all slicked back. He has a very unsettlingly shiny, thick mustache on his top lip, and he's wearing like long, flowy clothes, and looks quite confident as he and his team strides out. He makes his way over to this entrance and brings along his friend. Oops, wrong layer. Okay. So who's actually going down into the box?
Me. And Lockie.
Yeah.
And Pim, I should have checked. Are you physically... Did you bring a body, or are you just inside the horse?
I feel like we would have...
We would have just had to have been inside the horse because you're not allowed to do any modification on it.
We would have... No, but I would have brought, or one of us would have brought, at the very least, a little,
Yes.
Squawk box?
I should say, yeah.
Scarab?
Yeah, but he wouldn't be able to be in it.
Guys?
No. For
guys! Mikhail is muted, and he may not realize that, so he could in fact be speaking.
Oh.
Sorry, yeah. I didn't realize. Yeah, I put them inside the machine because they, for one, there's no tampering, and two, seeing them put the core inside the robot might cause issues, and there would be a Scarab Squawk box with either Lockie or Katarina. So yeah.
For afterwards, not for beforehand.
For afterwards,
yes,
for afterwards. Before.
Okay. So you lower yourself. You are wheeled into the box. Lockie, you get situated in your chair and start fixing all of these various control matrices to yourself. And as the door seals behind you, you are lowered down, and the door before you opens. Darius, if you like, you can wheel the box out.
Yeah, I'll just roughly just try and move it forward. I imagine it weighs close to a ton.
Yeah, but it can hover, so you're all good.
Oh, okay. I'll just give it a nice shove and let it drift.
Mm-hmm. And so they say, all right, fighters, Please present your robots. 3, 2, 1. And you guys can press your button, and all of the sides of your box just fly off. And as they do so, you notice that all of the lights go out. But just for a second. Be good. Just for a second. So the lights cut out, and you hear the sound of like box debris settling, components falling aside, and you hear across the echoey fighting chamber the sound like, and just as the lights turn back on, you see that there is a massive spider robot standing where the box once stood.
Right, so they've done further modifications in that time.
And as the lights turn back on, a good like half the people in the audience just go, ah! As though they were very, very surprised to hear this, to have this like massive spider form just appear in the dark. As you kind of give it once over, it looks like this thing probably would fit in the box if all of its legs were curled up. So in the time that it was dark, it basically just unfurled all of its legs and stood up. And you guys...
Can I make a generalized intelligence check looking at its design as to why they would want the lights to go out?
Okay. Go ahead.
I could have just literally seen what happened.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Both of us could.
Well, you...
Because I'd be over here for the fight. I'd be at the window.
Yeah. Well, then, what you saw was what I described, was that the robot unfurled itself. And you can probably guess that the reason they turned off the lights in between it being a tiny thing and being a spider is because they're called Team Jump Scare, you guys. Team Jump Scare. They wanted to jump people with the spider appearing out of nowhere.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
It's a show.
My bad.
PIMM, you should dance.
Are you ready? Lucky, are you ready?
Oh, yeah. Born ready.
Okay. You get all situated in your seat.
I mean, I feel like there's no better time to say this. I ain't here to fuck spiders, mate.
Oh no, where did that come from?
Killed the DM.
Oh no. Okay, everybody, roll for initiative. I suppose it's just roll for...
Yeah, you can roll Lucky and do it with a bonus dex. Go for it.
Yeah.
I say we all roll initiative just in case we want to do stuff.
Yeah, I think my initiative is definitely going to be separate.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wait, why did mine not allow me to...
You have to select your token first.
No, I did, but it didn't allow me to add the plus to the don't do 3. Oh.
Okay, so you rolled a 3 for the robot, so I'll go 4 on the robot itself and remove you physically, because you are controlling the robot.
My first roll was actually the 4. So
okay. Yep, so 5, cool. What else do we have? We have 2 Dr. Charleses. Get rid of that one.
I can only
twice the Charles.
3, Darius.
So my first roll was
just got
3,
the
and
cloning
then it didn't go on, so I rolled again and got a 2, but it's on now, so whatever.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Much of the muchness.
5, Darius, sure.
1d1 plus 1. That's rough, man.
Sure. Kathleen is doing stuff. PIMM, you're not relevant. No, you're relevant.
All right.
He's kind of our weapon. It would be nice of him to be relevant.
5. Okay.
I think
I go
benefit is that we can act independently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've got responsiveness to stuff.
So we're 5. Let's see what jump scare is. Oh,
5 as well.
Plus 2.
It's a 6.
Ah, it's a plus 1. So it goes just before us.
Yep. Sending. Okay.
For anyone who wanted to know, this is Mr. Oh wait, it's not going to show very well. Mr. Greasy.
Mr. Greasy Man.
Mr. Greasy Man.
As it kind of sends out his creation, he looks to be similarly not set up as the person who's controlling the cat. He has what you assume might be an override button, but he isn't wearing nearly as much of the decked out stuff as you are, Lockie. Which makes me think that this spider is running on a VI. So
it has lost before it can even start.
So for initiative, Catalina, you're first. Oops.
Can I do a tactics roll on the spider?
You may.
Just like kind of determine if I can immediately spot any weaknesses or anything. Ooh. Intelligence?
Intelligence.
I did okay.
That's not bad.
H. Tactical weaknesses. You would suspect balance might be a bit of a concern. Since this thing is a small body suspended by multiple legs, if you were to take out some of the legs, it wouldn't be able to more easily move around or interact with the fight.
Okay. I will transmit over the comms to all three of them, and just relay information. The legs, if you aim for the legs, it will have a lot of trouble moving.
The figures.
Okay.
Very well.
Its
How
body is
tall
not
is
very
this,
stable.
by the way?
So essentially, this area around the outside is like, call it default ground level. This dirt area goes down about a meter, and that box is maybe 2 meters high. So
do I have a clear shot?
from your height,
Considering we stand almost 2 meters off the ground.
I mean, we also want to keep our big guns. We want to keep some secrets.
well,
Okay, so stick with the big gun.
PIMM?
Stick with the weapons. Yeah, all right.
PIMM, it's their turn first.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
so
you will be in range.
So you pass along this information to them, and then it is the turn of Team Jumpscare. It is going to... What's happening here? Kind of scurry around the side of the arena and end about here. So it goes... and it goes... as a spider would move. And as it gets closer to you, you see something kind of unfold from inside its thorax. And it appears to be a laser rifle.
Oh, was that it? I was worried.
So this rifle folds out, snaps to attention, and takes 2 shots at you guys as it's scurrying forwards.
Okay.
Oh shit, Lockie's in line of fire.
No, the door seals up, but it's see-through, so it's not
Oh, okay.
going to be like...
Yeah, it's not, it would be pretty,
It's
it'd be
safety
pretty
glass.
dangerous if that was the
Yeah.
case, man.
It's got safety glass. It's okay. So 2 shots. Pew! Ooh, that's a hit. Pew! That's a miss. So
let's see the hot garbage damage.
So
now, I have a
roll
question.
9 damage.
That is not hot garbage damage.
Rory,
Owie.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Since Lockie is one of the people piloting this thing, can he use his warrior ability?
Only on attacks aimed at the top half.
So where was this attack aimed, Rory?
I don't know. Do you want to use your warrior ability already?
I'm just
No.
putting it out there.
I feel for 9 damage it might actually be worth using it, but...
Yeah.
Okay, well then it was aimed at the top half.
Alright.
That's probably the heaviest hit you're going to take from it, so might as well.
I mean, hopefully. That could be quite concerning if it's not. Yeah, we might as well give it a go.
So you burn your veteran instinct ability and shrug off the 9 damage by just leaning backwards in your chair and seeing the shot whiz past your face. Okay, now it is your turn. For reference, Ash, have you got the...
Yes, I've got it up.
Excellent.
Rory, where did you post the...
Our stats.
I posted it in the image. In the salty stats. It's just kind of buried a little bit.
There is not much I can do from this distance, actually.
Yep, so...
That's okay, I'm bringing us in closer.
So, can I hold my action to make an attack when we're getting closer?
You may.
Okay.
I'm going to use my full action to build up speed.
Okay.
I'm going to curl around here and attack it from that angle. So like this.
So it's...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there.
That's a bit far for you guys.
No, I'm not using an attack action.
Okay.
Why not?
Well, because I don't want to use the big gun. So I'm going to use my full action. So the whole thing, movement and attack, to basically build up.
You're going to bum rush it.
I'm a horse, okay? I'm going to freaking act like one.
You can use your lance.
That's true.
I don't have a lance.
The lance is me, but which I'll be able to do that once I get into close range, though, because I did specifically say I'm holding an action to attack.
Mikhail can only control the gun and legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So PIMM performs the move action and starts like horse galloping forwards, building up speed. Lockie, at the end of the move for its turn, you are within lancing range and can make an attack roll. Now I need to know exactly what you are rolling for this.
I'm gonna try. I'm debating whether or not I try and spear for like one of the joints of its legs.
No, like what kind of pluses are you going to get? Because you'll get benefits from this being a massive robot, but you also get benefits from the skills you apply to this thing.
Rory, what's our robot's health, max health?
48.
48.
Oh, I guess I couldn't see that anywhere. That's all.
What could I apply to this? Because it's a primitive weapon, isn't it? Because it's a melee attack.
So this is primitive. I'd say you apply strength to this.
Yep.
Because
in which case they balance themselves out. Because my primitive weapons is actually -1, but my strength is a +1.
Oh dear.
But I have a +1 to attack bonus.
You do. Wait.
This is a Nemesis, so.
This is a Nemesis. Did you design it to have a bonus to Dex or Strength?
I couldn't have both, can I?
If it's a melee attack, I can...
to have a. It's designed to have strength on the top half.
Okay. So you would get a +2 just from how you're using it and how it was built. I'd say by virtue of it being a robot fight, you get another +2 on top. So all your like spear and shield attacks are going to be made with a +4.
Okay.
Plus its armor class, which is 1.
Woof.
It's tiny.
Yeah,
So you better roll good.
It's very nimble.
I hope I've entered this incorrectly, but probably not. No.
Oh, not quite. You
try to lance it in one of its arms.
You go in and go for a lance, and it kind of.
We only have a 1 in 4 chance of hitting it.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And you can actually make another attack if you want to. You can, yeah, because of how you're operating this. I'm allowing like 1 spear attack and like a shield bash attack in the same ring.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you don't have a move action, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and make me another attack roll, also with a +4.
Mm-hmm.
+5 with its armor class. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You go for a shield bash. It like rears back and dodges your attack.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, so I
Yeah.
got to deal with the legs then.
Darius, it's your turn.
I'm going to attempt to hack to. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to hack on targeting, but I don't want to do anything until it makes an attack.
Okay. Well, I'll say again, this thing is being piloted by a VI. How are you going to connect to it?
So, wait, hang on. It doesn't have radio at all.
It has one, but that does not connect to its motor controls. If you give it a ping, that seems to connect to some kind of partial self-destruct device of the circuitry. So in case the VI gets a bit frisky and starts hurting people, he basically has a dead man switch to just turn it off. But he has no direct control to this thing because it's being run by a VI. And as a person, it's not practical for him to control it because it's spider shape, he is human shape.
Also, Charles, you could literally be doing stuff during this, but you could be doing stuff that's not to the robot, but to the pilot.
Controller.
I couldn't think of the word.
To the pilot?
To the...
How?
Yeah,
He's not controlling it.
He's not controlling it, no.
It's a VI, virtual intelligence.
So I can't really do much then.
In this fight, sadly, no.
I will try and take control of what I can.
Okay.
Just to give it something else to think about.
Activate its self-destruct.
I was gonna say,
Well, I mean,
Charles could activate the self-destruct from the pilot's end. Make him do it.
All right.
It's not a self-destruct. It's just a kill switch to stop it from doing anything else.
Yeah. So if
it turns it off effectively.
Yeah. So if, for example, it got frisky and started attacking the spectators, he'd want to turn it off.
Actually, I will hack into that and see if I can take control of that particular thing.
Okay.
11.
11. Oof. Yeah, that's good enough. That's definitely good enough.
Can I gather enough information from it at the moment? Oh, hang on. 1d4 plus computers as well.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I have control for 4 turns.
Yeah.
But with that hack, do I have enough information about that to, rather than having it all or nothing turn off, can I just slowly ramp it up and put it, say, 30% so that it's just slowing it down?
Interesting. So you're trying to get a better understanding of how the kill switch specifically works.
Yeah. Okay,
well, the kill switch is connected to the power supply.
Oh, sick. Is it an on and off kill switch, or is it a modulated one?
I'd say just by its design and to avoid mistakes, it's just on off. So basically, it's just it's off now. But you have access to the on off switch for 4 turns. But there's nothing stopping you from turning it off for a round and then turning it back on again.
Yeah, it'll be too obvious if I do it now. So I'll do it the moment someone takes a swing at it. I'll just flick it off so that it can't dodge.
Hey, good to know. Well, you'll need to prepare that action for further turns. But so you've used your action to do the hack. Next turn, you can hold your action to do that.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I've got control of it for 4 turns.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Dr. Charles, the turn is yours.
Not sure there's much I can do at the moment without being obvious. Because it hasn't taken damage.
Not yet, no.
I was going to say I'm going to take one of its damaged legs and make it sort of using telekinesis, yank it out from underneath itself. But none of the legs are damaged yet. So I'm going to hold my turn until they are damaged.
Okay.
And then do that.
Sure thing. Catalina.
There is not really anything I can do at the moment.
Can't you? You're muted.
Sorry, I was looking at things. I don't think there's actually anything I can do.
Okay.
Can I provide assistance to the others, like to Lockie attacking via tactics?
Just shouting shit out
just like
over the comms.
Yeah, just like
Go
talking over.
flag.
Not quite. More in the sense of doing like observational. Like I can see the field from a better perspective.
Yeah.
And with my eye spectrums, I might be able to notice something that he doesn't.
That's true. Yeah, go ahead and roll a tactics roll with intelligence. See what you can glean from this. Maybe you can give Lockie an advantage to his attacks.
Yeah.
That would help.
Yeah. You succeed. You see how it's moving, and you think you've got part of it pegged. Like it is dodging certain attacks, and it's doing it in a very specific way. So you think if Lockie were to throw one attack, and while it's dodging, make another attack at the part of itself that it doesn't like to move as much, that would be an easier target. So it would basically be like tossing away the spear attack, but getting a bonus on your shield punch.
And I'll communicate that. Lockie, its leg movement is very static. It's same over and over. When it dodges, you can attack with one and miss, but hit with the other if you aim for the part that doesn't move very much. Watch it, you'll see.
So do a feint.
Yeah.
Basically, yes. So now it's time for Team Jump Scare. It is going to do a very jump scare kind of a thing.
It's going to pounce on us, isn't it?
Basically, yeah, it's going to pounce on you guys. So it's going to leap up and kind of land on you guys. And you see that its two front legs at the ends, they split into fine pincers. And they are like grabbing at your arm and like grabbing at both of your arms, or trying to at the very least.
Okay, let's see this roll.
Indeed. Okay, that's going to hit.
Oh my god. Oh,
that's going to miss. So the first one reaches up and grabs at your spear arm, right arm, and is able to get like a grip around it. And as it does, you kind of look down through the robot's eyes and see that a fine metal blade inside its leg shoots out, causing like stabbing damage, and then slides back inside. So you are taking 1d6 like crushing damage and 1d12 sneaky stab damage.
Shit.
So you're taking 4 from the crushing and 7 from the sneaky stab. So you take 11 damage altogether.
Whoa.
It's right in front of us now, yes?
Yeah.
It's right in front of you guys. Like
it's locked itself in to us.
Yeah. At least
so
it can't
like
now.
So
yeah,
like
but again,
it's right in front of my gun.
Yes, it's right in front of your gun. It has VI hasn't been updated to know what you do. So it doesn't know to beware your front side.
Lucky. Grab hold of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it had just grabbed onto you, so if you want, you can like bear hug it.
Well, it's grabbed hold of my spear arm.
Yes.
So I kind of want to. What I want to try and do is pull it towards me with the spear arm. So like start pulling it in towards me, so that like literally its sensor array is right up in front of the gun.
Okay, so I'm going to say that requires a strength check on your part to try and do this. So it'll be
+2 to strength, by the way.
2d6 plus 2, because it's your strength plus the strength of the robot.
2d6 plus 2. Right.
It's going to try and avoid this, of course, because why would it not?
And it gets a +1 bonus from my assist.
Yeah.
That would be if it was going for the stab.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well.
Yeah, it doesn't do that.
Can I have a ad for that?
What's the ad for that?
Well, now he's right in front of the gun. Am I going to miss?
Oh, you're not going to miss. Roll damage.
I was gonna say, if you miss that, it'd be like,
you pull it in bear hug style.
I was going to say, I'm going to hold my shield attack until after he fires.
So it's kind of like squirming. Very nice. Why +2?
Oh wait, does it add the dex?
Nope.
No, it doesn't. All right, well, it's just 10 then.
Okay, so it is like squirming in your grasp as it feels your entire chassis vibrate from the gun spooling up, and you actually see kind of like a virtually simulated panic in its eyes as it starts like darting around trying to find an escape as it feels this attack building. And
By
then
the way,
yes,
that was one action. I haven't used a move action. Can I fire again?
No.
Damn it.
Could charge over it.
Maybe I could step on its legs with my fucking feet.
Well,
that would also be an action.
That's what I actually. Oh, is that an attack action?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and then I would say that the grapple by Loki is a move, and your attack was the attack action. There may be two of you, but you guys still do only have the one move and the one attack.
Yep.
Okay.
While the robot can split the one attack into a spear and a shield bash, if you want to fire the gun, you can't also do a spear and a shield bash.
Yeah, okay.
The robot itself isn't capable of it.
Yes. So you deliver a debilitating shot to this thing, and it kind of crumples back in pain. Where's my pencil? Where is my pencil? I'll use my wormwood pencil, actually. It's right here. It's made of wood! Okay. Flipping over to its page. 10. Ooh, that was recently 10 damage. This is a plug for wormwood, apparently. Okay, you deal a powerful shot. Darius, you see that they have a serious bear hug situation going on with this robot, and now might be a good time to turn it off.
Yeah, so I am in fact going to do that. I'm going to turn it off for 5 milliseconds for every 20. So a quarter of the time it's off, but it's basically just going to be rebooting its VI repeatedly.
Oh, that's very clever.
So it'll be on and responding, but its VI is just going to reboot over and over and over.
You know what's going to be great about this as well? They're going to assume it's an effect of our weapon now.
Yeah, but you just shot at its belly, and it would not be. It would understandably be like spluttering and struggling, but you're making that so much worse.
Yep.
You are able to do that, no roll required, because...
And they wouldn't know the gun is ranged either, because it literally just exploded point blank on it.
Yep. So they think it's a close range weapon as well.
Basically. So you discharge this thing, and you, like, I'd say through the eyes of your drone, you can see that the eyes of the spider bot are, like, flickering at the increment you set, where it's like, okay, I'm turning on no. Okay, I'm turning on no.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, Dr. Charles, this thing has now taken some damage.
Are any of the legs... Do any of them appear to be damaged enough that if they were to have a good 200-kilogram yank, they'd fall off?
This shot was to its underside, so the damage was more centered on the thorax and the abdomen than any of the legs.
Wait,
Okay.
200 kilos? Fuck, that's heavy.
That's only level 1.
Oh, cool. So I knew previously it was hand strength, so 200 kilos is pretty...
Yeah, it's a good upgrade.
Yeah, that's chunky.
If I was to use the regalia, I'd go straight up to 400.
Well, you could just do a piston right on the back of its shell. 200 kilos is a bit of force.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to sort of like reach into where the gun's done damage and just sort of like grab what I can and just compress.
Okay. Are you trying to do this subtly? Because while I haven't actually demonstrated it, I'd say there would definitely be other people spectating because they also want to know who they're up against.
The only reason I'm automatically subtle is because it's literally plugged into my brain.
Yes. Like other competitors would be watching this fight because they might be against you. So you may need to like do it under your, like carefully do it so no one spots you.
Actually, I am going to be a dick, and with my move action, because I have it, I'm going to send one of this drone right, narrowly missing someone's head, just to cause a bit of panic in the crowd.
Okay, sure.
Just a distraction, so they're less likely to notice shit.
Distraction for us. Okay.
So yeah, I'm literally just going to be standing there, and I'm going to like intensely look at the spider, and with one hand just sort of like make a fist at my side as I'm crushing.
Clever interpretation. I like that. So you focus on a point.
It's going to be like
the damage in it. Just make me a stealth check with Dex all the same, just in case someone is especially perceptive.
Stealth. This is where I suck. Oh,
that's
I
good.
did really well that time.
That's really good.
Very
That's
nice.
a 9.
Yep. So you just roll me a D8, please.
You need to put some points in stealth, I think.
I don't normally need it.
Well, I mean, doing a lot of distance psychoactive shit.
See, technically, most of the time I don't need to be stealthy about using this ability. All I do is be like, you're annoying me, pick you up with telekinesis and throw you away. Done.
Yep.
Indeed. Okay, you see like a smaller servo kind of like hanging out on the inside. You reach out and just crush it with your mind. And Lockie and PIMM, as you're controlling this thing, you feel it kind of struggle and lurch a bit more. But it's now kind of starting to cool down. It's not really moving very much at all. So it's now your turn, Catalina.
Oh.
That's still Catalina?
Yes.
It seems...
One moment.
Are you muted again?
Yes, you are.
Yes, I'm muted. Hi. I was trying to fix something on the stream. Okay, doggy. I don't know if there's anything I can really do.
Fair enough. Not acting is always an option.
Yeah.
I'd say just keep trying to give advantage. Keep calling out tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
Yeah.
I'll just keep calling out what I notice about the fight and the bot. Whoops, wrong one.
Well, you're probably going to notice its power supply is fucked.
It's not moving very much. Now's a good time to thoroughly wail on it.
Lucky, now's the time.
Mm-hmm.
Smash that shit.
Go to town. Okay, since...
Yeah, you do 2 smashes, get it to the ground, and once it's on the ground, I'll do that horse thing and rear up and go... and then just stomp on it.
Okay.
Lucky, smash.
I'd say, considering what's happened to it, please make both your attacks at advantage.
Ooh, okay. Don't have to ask me that one twice.
With a +1 to attack.
Oh, look at that. Tactics. Nice. Well done.
Is it with a +1 from the assist or just the advantage?
So roll with +6 and advantage.
Holy shit.
That's it. Oh, so close.
It's got advantage. It's got advantage.
Got advantage.
Yes!
That's a hit.
Right.
So yeah, that's your spear. So roll me a d10 for damage.
Does that add strength to that, by the way, or is it just as it is?
It's just as it is.
Cool. D10. Yes.
Oh my god!
Damn, boy.
Now roll your shield. Your shields like punch.
I have a question.
Why don't you pin its head to the ground?
I was going to say, I have its leg pinned. Can I attempt to push it to the ground and use its shield ability on its head?
Yes.
Okay.
So it needs to. So you have like successfully done. So now you just need to make the shield attack.
Yes, I make a shield attack.
So it's a.
You turned it into a kebab.
Yep. So roll with +6 and advantage. Miss.
Yeah. No.
So you try and pin it down with your shield, but some of like the wild spasming it's doing as a result of all the damage you've dealt. It's keeping you from getting like a good solid grip. You think this thing is on like its last legs.
Nice.
And
I just want to definitely add insult to injury by decapitating its head.
Am I not allowed to horse kick it?
No, that would be an action.
Ow.
Actually,
you can just run at it and see what happens.
Now that I see this, and I'm checking my maths a bit here, before anybody else gets through it, really do anything, the sleazy, greasy Greek pilot of this thing walks over to the wall and just presses a big red button and then just projected above his station is surrender. Because legit, his robot is on 1 hit point right now, and he would really rather salvage it than have it be completely annihilated by you. So he surrenders.
Can we have it where
let's not waste 30,000 credits.
As the horse's hoof is above its head, like ah.
Yeah. So it has surrendered. What do you want to do?
I think we should be honourable.
How
Yeah.
about we pick it up and bring it back to him? Get that crap out of here.
Just drag it over to him.
Yeah.
But then again, do we want the crowd to love us? Because if we rip off one of its arms now, the crowd's going to love us.
Are you sure about that?
No, I think the better option is to pick it up and...
How about we just pick the whole thing up?
And hold it over your head and cheer.
Yeah.
Make a show of it.
This is for sure a spectacle, and as the surrender thing flies up, the crowd goes like, sniffer, 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 like seeing you guys do all this like ferocious attacking. So they're currently cheering you on.
All right, I reckon we should at least pick it up above us.
And then bring it back to the fella after we've gotten the cheers.
Well, I was going to say, pull it up above us and see if the crowd, goes full Colosseum style, like kill, kill, kill.
They get a lot louder. A lot louder. It was a roar. Now it's like a cacophony of just.
You know what? I want to turn.
No one's shouting "kill" though. It's just them cheering.
I want to turn to the Don and just be like,
"Oh, good point." The Don is up there. He sees the robot you're in kind of turn his attention up there. He stands, walks towards the glass, and just does one of these.
Smash!
Wishbone it.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna wishbone this thing. You like grab both sides of the thorax and just thing in half and just throw it down on the ground in 2 pieces.
You know how when horses turn in a circle? When they're when they spin around the circle, just have them and just like spin the parts around and then that'd be cool.
Yeah. Sure.
And then just lands up in the air.
Do like a trot on its carcass.
Yeah. Do what? Yeah, do the horse count.
There is a lot of fan love for you guys in the stadium right now, and the guy who's bought this is just like, banging his head against like the. No, so much money. He's pretty livid.
They're risking every investment.
Did you see that? We just made him jump scare.
How's this for a jump scare, you bastard?
I'm gonna quickly disconnect and turn to Lockie and just go, Lockie, careful we don't make too many enemies.
That's legitimately where I just messaged Mikael.
and that's I think we're gonna call it a night.
Yes.
Well done, guys. Good job.
First battle is ours.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well.
And we only had to cheat a lot.
Guys, no, we probably would have done really well. We had 48 hit points and an armor class of 2.
Yeah. Yeah. This thing was for sure built to be a glass cannon. It didn't have nearly as many hit points as you, but it was very dodgy and could deal some decent damage with its pincers and its gun for long range as well.
It rolled nearly max damage twice.
Yes, it did.
That's great, though, because we've officially confused everyone, hidden half of our abilities on the bot. That's excellent.
Hidden half of our abilities outside of the ring as well.
Yeah. So, guys, just so you know, just based on the bracket, I mean, I'll play out the next 2 fights at the start of the next session, so you guys can see how these bots fight. But you've actually seen how a lot of these fight already. Okay. So, in the next bracket, you guys are either going to be against. Actually, no, I messed up. You guys are going to be against the brick outhouse.
Oh dear.
Oh no!
I'm too worried. I'm actually not too worried.
No, it's more Romney will be disappointed if we have to kill it.
Also, Romney might be in against us and giving he might be giving rerolls.
If it tries to pull us towards it, we're just gonna shoot it with the fucking big ass gun.
Look,
how do you like 2d10 electromagnetic pulse damage?
Romney has also said that he's debating giving the brick outhouse, the block, rerolls to succeed against us.
Oh, great.
So.
And after we fucking named a suit after you.
But he likes the brick outhouse, you guys, because it's simple and it's terrifying.
He likes it because it's very similar to his cube idea, which was a cube of spinning blades.
But it's also funny because it's only got one weapon and it's controlled remotely. Which is good.
Yeah.
I almost feel bad for him, but he was greasy.
Yeah, bloody
greasy.
We're gonna make enemies.
Actually, I'm gonna be honest, you guys. You've probably already made him and his your enemy. He's from the Zervaz group. That's the pirate band that you guys annihilated previously.
In that case, yeah.
Who cares?
In that case, we need Pim to walk in with the rocket launcher.
I feel like round 2, baby.
Sorry, not sorry. I think we all like rocket launchers.
Indeed.
Hey, Shazoo.
I just want a robot. This is the design that I would have gone with if you guys didn't think of design. Literally something with a brick outhouse, but a giant drill with a depth charge in the drill. Depth charge in the drill.
No explosives.
Aww.
It's in the rules. It's legit in the rules. No, heavy weapons or explosives. It's one of the rules.
Okay.
Well, yes. Technically, we don't have a heavy weapon. Yes.
No. You don't have a heavy weapon.
We don't have a heavy weapon.
It's a mix of little ones.
We have a weapon that is extremely fucking heavy, but it's not a heavy weapon.
Yeah. The fact that it does stun damage means that it's not a heavy weapon because it's not going to cause horrendously devastating damage to people or property.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there you go. We didn't super destroy his spider.
You just tore him in half.
Just took that. Well, to be fair, that wasn't me.
I mean,
trotted.
I was gonna just rip its legs off, but I mean,
When the Don orders you to do something, you do it.
yeah.
When
Exactly.
the Don says it goes down,
It'd
it
be funny
goes
to just
down.
run around the ring as the horse, dragging it until bits and pieces started falling off.
I mean, I'm not
my
gonna
first
lie. I was gonna do it regardless, but this way I got permission.
Yes, very sensible. The Don was not pleased with that spider.
Why?
Okay.
It was pathetic.
Well, because it didn't do a very good job. You guys beat it, so he wasn't impressed.
It's like, aha, I'm going to come in close. I was like, how close is
Okay.
it? I like it. when you
Point
put
blank
the
with a freaking
right in front
shock
of it.
cannon.
But again, yeah. So guys, bear in mind that other people have now seen how your robot fights, so they may adapt, and so on and so forth. Especially if other robots run with VI, they may program them to react to your
Centaur
behavior more differently in the time in between fights.
Yeah.
But yes,
Next fight against the brick outhouse, we've just got to get between the outhouse and the user, because it can't use an electromagnetic pulse if it's facing its user.
Well, it's not
It'll screw the
necessarily
controls.
I can move 20 meters if I don't use an action, yeah? So if it's just full
Oh.
move.
If you use your action, you can sprint to 20 feet. But of course, it would be deployed around here. So you probably need to lure it away from the entrance and then, cut it off.
Yeah, so go
left and then circle round.
Wait,
Yeah.
there's a big box
And
between
then-
us, so we could just make it do a ring around the rosy.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, we'll play a game of Dead by Daylight. Just loop until it gets fucking annoying.
Right. So guys, shall we do a raid?
Yes,
Yes,
we
we shall
should.
do.
Yes.
We should
I
raid.
see.
How much of the ring is metal?
A lot of it.
Yeah, thought so. Okay.
Mhm.
So,
So
game
I
plan
see we
now.
have the Game Stormers at 7 viewers. That could be nice.
Is there anyone else that anyone wants us to raid? Anyone in the chat have someone that they'd like us to raid? Bless you.
Pardon me.
Bless you.
I'm done. Games Laboratory is also streaming. They are streaming Among Us. It's an option.
Cheers.
Unless there's-
What do you
Dreaded GM is on. He's from Guys Region, says D20 TV.
I'm going to leave it up to someone else because I just ran the game. So.
They've got a few more viewers than we probably... we want to try and see if we can raid someone really small so that we can try and boost their viewers, so...
Yeah, good idea.
I'd say Game Stormers then because they're at 7.
Alright.
By the way, just a big shout out. Loved the map.
Oh, I'm very glad. Oh my god, you're right. You guys built Orisa. You guys built Orisa.
What?
I didn't realize this. You built Orisa.
A what?
From Overwatch.
Oh, yeah! Alright.
Oh my word.
Starting the raid.
Okay. Fare thee well, one and all. We will see you all next week for more robot battling shenanigans and definitely more cheating, if this party has anything to say about it.
Love you all. See you next
Night.
week.
What cheating? Totally legit battle strategies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just being more sneaky than the person next to you.